Hi, didn't see you there. Welcome to Ocean Waves.
You guys just cost me an achievement.
20.
Achievement not unlocked.
I'm so serious.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
27.
27?
Yes, sir. We did not do one last week.
In my head, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm gonna leave my mic up because I'm gonna do one tomorrow.
Did you guys hear
Heard.
about?
For the spiritual, because we were gonna do one last Monday, but that didn't happen. So we're doing it today. I'm gonna do one next
I'm gonna be,
month,
you know
tomorrow.
what?
For
If you
the spiritual of going to what Jason said was that we shouldn't postpone it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was right.
Because then Monday comes and then something happens, then Tuesday comes and then Wednesday comes and then boom, boom, right? So if Sundays are the day that we decide,
It has to be done no
Yeah.
matter who's there.
yeah,
but,
The podcast is bigger than any one individual.
agreed.
That has to be the motive.
text me when you do it, because if you do it,
I'm gonna do it like
After.
around this time, whatever
that's not
time.
figured.
What, tomorrow?
If you do it
Yeah.
after,
Dope.
I'm gonna leave the flags
I'm
on.
done. I might be able to pull through.
Play the
Something
drill in
be-
your car. So.
Dangerous.
Yeah, definitely do that.
That way we can get the vision up there. You know what I mean? We need
I have a
something right
hard
there.
vote against drink on the table with technology, but
I do agree.
I'm
Just
gonna
put it in
let
this
you.
corner right here
You could stick your hard vote.
on the ground in the corner.
Yo, did you hear about that story about all those animals being born with no eyes?
No.
Did you-
Eba!
You hear
Eba!
And there was a guy who like hit a deer. Did you hear? Did you know what happened to that guy?
He had no eyes.
No idea.
Sorry,
him.
I had to.
That's
Okay,
such
okay,
a
okay.
bad
I got one for you. Ready?
Okay.
So, there are 30 cows, right?
Okay.
Yeah, 30 cows. I got it. That's 30 cows, right? And then there are 30 chickens.
Tomato.
Tomatoes.
30 chickens, 30
30
cows.
chickens, 30
Crap, I
cows.
forgot how it went. I don't know how it went.
Alright, good one. Alright.
Thanks.
If you think of it, let us know.
Heard.
I'm Calbino.
Indigo Ryan.
Calbino. See, that was the setup right
Calbino.
there. Moo.
I'm gonna turn me down a little bit. I feel like I'm a little loud.
Dwayne the Kin
Just on the guru.
Hell yeah.
coming in.
So, I think we should start off with how we
Scoop you
ended
out.
last one.
Mm,
Two
true.
questions. How do you feel after the album's release? And how do you feel becoming not a father, but having a baby,
newborn.
your own baby?
Album. I don't know. I feel alright. It's cool. I mean, I don't know. I never actually feel that great after putting out a project. Like I'm never like, fucking let's go celebrate. I feel depressed after every single time I drop one. Because I think for me, it's like what we talked about before. Like I actually just enjoy just the process of making it, and once it's done, it's like no longer mine. And then anything after the fact that it's done, it's all results based, and I never get the results that I want. So it's always like So I honestly don't even really look at it. Like once it's gone, it's like I've been listening to it though, and actually more so than a lot of the projects when I drop them, I don't even listen to them anymore. But I have been in the car ride still bumping it because I do actually really like the music on there. But I don't know. It's more for everybody else really at this point. It's not for me anymore. Because if you think about it, like as an artist, you're creating based on your experience, and everything you create, you're unpacking something that either you were unaware to, or semi-unaware to, or were aware to, but aware that you needed to unpack it. And you unpack that thing, you tell that story, and once that story is told, it's like you've relieved yourself of the burden. I look at it as like bottles in a closet. Like every song is a glass bottle in a closet, and the essence of the music is in the jar or in the bottle. And every time you make the song, you take it out the closet, and to release it is to, because you can look at it and be like, ooh, this one has like green, like you see what's inside it. But to release it is like to actually take the bottle off and let it out, pour it out for everybody else, and it's not yours anymore. And then you get rid of the bottle, so you don't have the weight anymore. But now you don't have the thing anymore either, because what was in there I let go.
When does the hunger strike start?
You know, I've actually been thinking about it. I kind of want to do it when I go back to smoking, because I don't think I'm gonna smoke the rest of this year. I'm gonna wait till like the next year, maybe New Year's.
Might as well just not smoke anymore.
No, because I have a whole life ahead of me. I don't want to be like, I don't smoke anymore. Like I want to go through all the experiences. You know what I mean? Like because I look at it like I was thinking about this the other day, dude. Like yesterday, I was like, when I was younger, I was so much like everything needs to happen in my life on this timeline, and you have like a time in your mind that you want everything to happen, and when things don't happen the way you want them to happen, it's like, oh shit. Or like you watch other people, dude. It's so easy to watch like look at these people like Aiden Ross and all these streamers who are like young as fuck and just crazy rich and like shit is popping for them. There's like one dude who's like super young. I don't even think he's like 18 years old yet. And he's like fucking rich as fuck. And it's like you can look at those people and be like, damn, like they got their shit moving. But in reality, it's like everyone has their own lives and their own things that they're hitting, and I can see in other people's lives things that they don't have that I have, that I'm like, oh, they're missing this thing, and if they had this thing, they wouldn't operate in that fashion. Like especially when you see people crash and fall, it's like they're not grounded in these certain ways because they don't have these certain things, because they missed them because they got this other thing fast, and unfortunately and fortunately, the thing that they got is the thing that everybody wants. So because everybody wants it, everybody looks at them, and when everybody's looking at you, it's like when you're trying to make a move, like. How many amazing shots of any sport did you hit when no one was watching?
A lot.
And how many did you hit when people are watching?
Not as many.
Not as many. But when you're like at the court, I hit the full court shot the other day at the court right here. Because I was shooting like half court shots and someone was like, yo, like, have you ever hit the full court shot? I was like, technically not at this court. And it took me like 20 tries, but I banged it. And I was like, hell yeah. But point being is that I was like, damn, like, I never imagined myself truly as like a 60-year-old man. I always thought that I would like die before then. So, but yesterday was like the first time I was like, okay, imagine myself as a 6-year-old man, still dreaming, still being a dreamer, right? You like not to the point where like you got old and you just quit, but like you're still doing shit. I was like, yo, I have all these other things I could accomplish in the world, and that are beyond just like the things that I thought of as a kid. And so like you have this whole journey ahead of you, and you don't have to like. It's like I was talking to somebody the other day. It was Josh about like not eating meat. I feel like when people go into like a diet or something, whatever the diet would be, they go into it with the mentality of like they're gonna quit forever. And I think when you go into the mentality of anything that you're gonna quit forever, you just set yourself up for failure. Because that's like you can literally make one mistake and you lost. One mistake, and you lost. Instead of setting it up in a way of like, oh, I'm gonna not smoke for 2024. That's not that hard. Like once you quit, it's not hard anymore. The quitting is the hard part. The where it's like, oh, I don't smoke every day now. That's the hard part. When you stop that part, it's easy. I don't even think about it. I don't think about smoking at all. Like occasionally, I'll walk outside and Ryan's smoking. I'm like, oh yeah, but I don't have the temptation anymore. It's more just like, it's like there. But I know in my mind, I'm like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go back to it. So I'm not even stressing it because it's like it's not like, oh man, I wish I could smoke. I don't smoke anymore. Like I miss it. It's like I know I'm gonna get back to it. It's like when you go on vacation, you know you're gonna come back home. So either this quitting is the vacation or the quitting is home. But either way, I'm going back to vacation or I'm going back home. I'm going somewhere. I'm not staying here forever. So I don't know. I think even with the music, that's helped my perspective. Just being like, to be honest, I don't care anymore. Like I don't really care. Like I'm just living my life day to day. And the thing about it all is, especially with the baby thing, that's really like opened my eyes, is that everyone was telling me, like everybody was telling me, oh, like everything's gonna be so much different. Like you're gonna feel so much different. I feel exactly the same. I don't feel different at all. Like I don't feel different. The only difference is it's like there's just this little baby who I take care of, and I have to listen to like the way he cries to understand what he wants, and that's it. But
It's
my
just
life,
another piece.
yeah, my life, like and that's the crazy thing. It's like everything that happens to me now, like when I was younger, these things shape me more. Like something happens to you that's big, and you're like, oh shit, and it changes you drastically. Now it's like I know that we all change slowly every single day, and there's that growth is there. But I feel the exact same. Like I don't feel the same, and I don't feel the negative emotions that I used to feel about certain things. I don't feel those taking me down anymore. Like I'm just like, it's just I accept like there's things that these things happened, that they're not perfect, and some things aren't pleasant, but they happen, and that's just part of life. And I like all the anger that I had for like of situations that shit went awry, I don't have that anger anymore. All the frustrations, I don't have anymore. It's like the perspective I sit in now is like, no duh. You know, it's like when somebody says something and you're like, oh, I've been on that. It's like, yeah, obviously. Like it's like someone says, oh, dude, if you look at the sun, you could see the rays around it, and you're like, yeah, no duh.
But it's interesting. You covered like 4 different things this week. I had like major brain bubbles about, but this one was baffling to me because I watched it happen yesterday at work, where I watched somebody discover something that I'm like, obviously, and made the active choice in the moment to be like, you know what, I'm gonna treat this like you're my kid. And so instead of being like, duh, I was like, oh, that's dope. What, like, how could you apply that? Then they showed me a usage that I had never even imagined. Because it was like, it was something like a bottle opener, but it really wasn't for opening bottles, but they started opening bottles with it.
Nice.
And it was like, because at this place we can't have any sharp objects, so you can't have like a regular bottle opener. And like everybody always struggles. And I'll just watch them do it. And I was like, I never would have put it there. Instead of using the actual bottle opener part, which sucks. I was just like, huh. And so in that moment, watching them have this epiphany about this thing, we were both able to curate between what I already know about it and what you're just now discovering.
Yeah.
Brand new.
I don't mean no duh like in an arrogant fashion.
Obviously. But
because that's the thing, that part of me, I feel like I don't really care to like, I don't care about being right anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the things I'm right about, I know I'm right about them, and there's literally no point of trying to prove anything. Because what you do when you try to prove stuff, you fucking break down. Whenever you try to prove stuff, you break down, because everybody is operating off their iOS, and you're operating under your operating system. And if somebody's not up to date with your operating system in that particular thing, they're not going to understand what you're talking about. So there's literally no point. It's like, there's literally no point of me trying to teach anybody anything. There's no point in me trying to get people to like, oh, I want you to believe. Like, I don't really care. Like, you believe what you want to believe, because we will all come to whatever realizations we'll come to whenever we come to them. Mm-hmm. And the shit I was right about, I was right about it. Shit I was wrong about, I'll admit it. I was wrong. You know what I mean? And that's that. So, sure. I don't know. I feel very like... I was talking to Ryan about this the other day. The space I feel in is like, I feel like I'm waiting out. You know, like when people used to wait out in lines outside of stores for like an item. Like I used to do that for Call of Duty. I'd wait outside like back in the day, like the old Call of Duty, like Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 3. I waited outside the line, and it was a huge line. I remember the Black Ops 1 line was like huge. And I made the joke. I think I told this before. I made the joke like, we were a bunch of people in line, and I was just like, I'm here for the Wii U. Like I yelled it out loud, and everyone was like, fuck you. like so it was hilarious. That was the time. But that's how I feel. I feel like I'm at the front of the line too, which is weird. But I can envision it. I'm at the front of a line. I'm sitting outside the store. The door's right in front of me. I know this door's about to open, but I don't know what I'm waiting for. I don't know what's behind the door, but I know that that's where I want to be. And I can't see through the glass of the windows. It's like super tinted, like I can't see through them, and I'm just waiting at this door, and I'm waiting for it to open, and I feel like there's a huge line behind me as well, and that's the space I feel like I'm in. That's it. So I'm just like, I'm sitting here biding my time essentially, because I don't really know. I feel like the door's about to open, so it's like I'm not gonna go do some other shit. You know what I mean? I feel like the door's about to open, and I don't know what the door is. I'm hoping it's the music. Like I'm like, I hope it's like the musical opportunities and shit is behind that door, but I really don't know. So that's the space that I feel like I'm in. Yeah.
I remember my joke.
Hell yeah.
So there's 30 cows, right?
Okay.
28 chickens. How many didn't?
28 chickens, 30 cows, 10 didn't.
You have an answer?
Nope.
You don't get it?
Nope.
You're dumb. Just kidding. Say it again.
There's 30 cows, right?
Mm-hmm.
28 chickens.
Yeah.
How many didn't? How many didn't?
Oh, there's 28 chickens?
How many didn't?
30 cows, 28 chickens. How many didn't?
Oh, yeah,
10.
10. Yeah.
Do you get why?
No.
Think on it.
Comment down below if you understand.
They can just look it up.
If you don't
You want me
comment
to tell you?
anyway.
The amount of times, like,
Yeah, I
I've
do.
heard that joke probably like 4 or 5 times throughout like the last 6 years. And the last time I heard it, like maybe like a month ago, I finally understood it.
Is it because, like, you're saying there's 30 cows, 28 chickens, so you're saying 20 cows ate chickens.
Yeah.
And 10 cows didn't eat chickens.
Yeah.
Nice. There it is.
I heard it the first time, then you answered 10, and my brain instantly went, no, there has to be more.
I have this one.
Like, Jason has to be wrong. There has to be more.
The second
too.
time I heard it, you said 28 chickens, and then I thought the number 28. I was like, wait, did I miss something?
Yeah.
But no, that's the part that's supposed
good.
to catch you.
Yeah.
28, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I have this one. This is stupid as shit, but I was telling this at work because this dude, I had a customer. This is a long time ago, but I had a customer who was like telling me like really dumb jokes. And then he's like, okay, now you gotta tell me a joke. And I was like, okay. He's like, but you have to think of it. You can't look it up. So I like walk away and I think I'm just on the spot. So I started this. It's stupid. But it's like, why did the gangster named Lasagna get acquitted of all charges?
Why did the gangster named Lasagna get acquitted of all charges?
Mm-hmm.
Repeat it. I was listening.
Why? Why did the gangster named Lasagna?
Okay.
His name is Lasagna.
Why did the gangster named Lasagna
Get acquitted of all charges?
Get acquitted
like he
of
got
all
released.
charges.
Like they didn't get him on anything.
I feel like it's something with because the G is silent.
Because the G is silent.
Have
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Stupid.
I ever told you guys about it was like a little Tweety bird, right, that my great grandmother used to have?
I think so.
I told you about that story.
I feel like sounds
I
familiar.
feel like I've heard it, but I don't remember. it.
Ryan
I'll
hasn't
share. I'll share it for them. So
For who?
for them, the three watchers right now.
Oh hey, didn't see you there.
Wait a minute.
Well, there you go.
Wait, y'all were recording?
The whole time.
Yep. Gotcha.
Are you sure? We didn't ask to make sure you was double checked.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Are
Just
you
kinda-
recording?
Are we recording?
Sorry, at this point we have a
Audio
picture for
recording,
it, so-
right?
I think we're recording.
So my great grandma used to have a Tweety bird, right?
Gotta trust my past self.
And we went to lunch one day, came back. I think we went to Olive Garden. Came back from lunch, and she like started like calling for the bird. She would go like, and then like it would like come sit on her finger, and she did it when we got home. The bird didn't come, so like she's looking, she's walking around, she's like calling, "Come here, Tweety," and the bird that's not coming down on her finger, right?
Oh shit.
And so like she was nervous, she was sad because like she's like, "Whoa, where the hell's my bird at?" Right?
Yeah.
And so like we started looking around outside. We're all doing like the little whoop, whoop, "Come here, Tweety," you know what I'm saying? And bird's not found. Eventually, like dinner time rolls around. We're just like, well, we can't find this bird. We gotta eat. She opens up the fridge to start cooking dinner, and there's Tweety bird inside the fridge.
No way. Was he alive?
Yeah, he was alive. He was alive. So she calls like an emergency vet, and it's like, yo, this is what happened. Like, we were looking for the bird. I would guess the bird's probably been in there like 8 or 9 hours, right? And that's like, I rub some gasoline on its beak, and it should be okay. I guess like the gasoline warms it up or something like that, right?
Wow.
And so rub some gasoline on the beak. Tweety bird jumps up into the sky. 1 lap,
Zoom
2
is high
laps,
as fuck.
and plop. Tweety bird just falls onto the ground.
No fucking way. Did he die?
He ran out of gas.
That's crazy.
You're hilarious. I legit thought this was a story.
I was like,
Honestly,
man.
when you said
I
a
was like,
real
no,
bird, I was like, wait, no, I haven't heard this. Because I thought you had told me the story about like an alarm clock that your grandma had that had the bird that come out.
No.
I thought it was that for
Yeah,
some
I was
reason.
lying. I never heard this story.
Dude, I looked around. I was like, he's a fucking. No, you didn't hear that shit.
That's
I
weak.
thought I did though.
At first, I was like, damn, this is where Eddie gets his animal trauma from. All started with Tweety bird game. Running out of gas.
Yeah, I had so many questions as you were telling this story.
I was like, damn, bro. I wonder what hallucinogenic effect hops on the bird from the gas.
Ran out of gas.
I was like,
That's
oh, yeah.
hilarious. Dedication.
I guess that's what birds run on, dude. All them flying
Yeah,
around.
everyone-
Speaking
Shout
of-
out to my grandpa.
Speaking
He
of
told me that
birds
story.
running on-
How much
Gas,
do
bro.
you think Kronos spent on gasoline for his bird? His birds in his
Who's Kronos?
from Incredibles 1.
They were probably.
What was his
They were probably
like,
wind
superhero
powered.
name? Kronos was like
Syndrome.
that. Yeah, Syndrome. Kronos was the password. Syndrome.
Kid Wonder, Boy Wonder. That's just his name before, right?
Incrediboy.
Incredible.
Bro, someone at work, there was this kid who worked there, and I'm not gonna say anything about him besides that he had like butterfly tattoos like on his arm, and we had like short sleeves. That's what I noticed about him. But anyway, time goes on, and there's one kid there who like just cracks jokes like here and there, but he also has like he has something that you can't really make fun of him too. Like everyone can pick it out and make fun of him for it, but you're not gonna do that. So, but it's funny that he just be cracking jokes and they all be laughing in the kitchen. So this kid, like, I don't know what was going on the day, but then he like compared him to Incrediboy, and the kid got like so heated, like talking to the assistant manager, like he was like he felt so butthurt, like he really got him, and then he like ended up leaving or whatever, and then he just looks at me and goes, "Go home, buddy." You know, and Mr. Incredible tells him to go home because he's trying to fight.
He said
my
that,
boy. He
I work to you.
he like says that he turns like cracks the second
dude,
part of the joke.
Dude who said it
No,
to
this
the other kid?
Yeah, the kid who ripped the Incredible joke had this part 2 of the joke. Which
Go
was,
home,
buddy.
buddy.
and it was like I was like I've never seen someone get got so bad. Like they really took it to heart of that. The Incrediboy like resonated with him so much, and I was like, dude, in 10 years he's gonna come back here with a big mechanical robot coming for you.
Yeah,
like trying to build one just to beat you.
Yeah.
How old is this kid?
Oh, he was like probably like a little younger than me, maybe, or like maybe he was actually a little older than me. But yeah,
The one that got triggered?
yeah. And the kid who ripped on it was like 24. It's a nice rip, but he'd be comparing it to anything.
Incredible.
I've been trying
That's
to get him.
hilarious.
That's funny.
I haven't found something to get him. The only thing that's close is like Chef from South Park. But I was like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough to get him with that. So I was like, you gotta get him with something. I haven't found anything. He's a geek though.
You'll find it.
Yeah, eventually. But he hasn't come for me, so
Call him Sid
there's
from
no
Toy
reason
Story.
to. He does mock laughs though, and he's good at it.
He what?
He like mocks people's laughs. Like he can hear someone's laugh and just repeat it back. And then he geeks out about it. And everyone geeks out because if it's like a funny ass laugh, especially mine, he'll try to record mine. And then if he gets it, they all laugh. It was like, no way. It's fucking geek.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Funny
dude.
kid, man. One thing I was going to say about the epiphanies thing was that when someone has that like epiphany or whatever, that door opens, whether an idea, thought, whatever, epiphany about a moment, it's like watching a firework go off. And there's all those strands, all those lights, and all that information. And they're watching, and they're just grabbing. And then the moment goes. And whatever they collected, they collect. So if you're with someone who has one of those, and like you said, you've been through one like that, or that one's already come, you've seen that firework, then you've already grabbed some, and he's grabbing the extra ones. And then if you find something together, like the one idea we have, it was like we both found this idea at the same time, and whatever you grabbed and I grabbed, we haven't even spoken about it. We grabbed them, and it was like, and then you continue moving forward. So it's like, it's almost like that first good trip someone has when they have their first that moment that you're like, you feel great, and you're like, oh my god, like that feeling, like that, and then the trip ends, and you have to collect what you collected from that, and you move forward with that, you know. But I think it depends on the situation, whether you hit him with the duh or you hit him with the, like, what is the epiphany about? You know what I mean? Like, how late?
Water hydrates you.
Yeah. You know, I would probably just walk away from that person. He's trying to get me. He's probably recording. He's got some kid in the bush recording it.
Hell yeah.
Trying to get on TikTok.
You guys watch that video, the Ryan Garcia video I sent you?
No,
No, I
I
haven't.
knew you guys wouldn't watch it. I knew the answer.
All right, we'll see if
It's
you watch it
because
for
No
tomorrow.
one ever does the homework.
I
like him.
really like Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, dude, he's in the right here, I think.
I know, but I didn't want to. Like, I do my best to do nothing but watch his training and his fights. I don't want to know anything about like
should watch it.
outside.
But has information come into your
You'll rock with him even harder
about
after it.
Oh yeah, and I definitely like. I don't.
try to
The second I see
Okay,
Ryan
so my
Garcia's
point
name, I just leave.
of that is that all that is like the clips of the whatever everyone spins. This is like all together of whatever he's put
You
out.
gotta hear it from the horse's
You
mouth.
take your assumption of whatever he's saying. That's that when I saw it, I was like, I'm glad I watched it just because I've been getting thrown. I've seen it. He's gonna be brought up. I was like, oh yeah, I saw something about it. And I don't go dig deep on it because I'm just like, all right, well, if it is true, something's gonna happen. Whatever, we'll see. Blah blah blah, and just pick up the pieces. But then he sent me the video, and now I had the video. I was like, okay, this is the information, and this is what they're clipping on. You know, they're clipping this. So I was like, okay, I'm glad I watched this. That way, when I see that, I know what it is. Versus like. Even that little thought where you saw his name, you try to scroll, but sometimes you don't. You could look up and you look down, and now you're just like blasted with whatever. It could be good or bad about him, and you might want to. And I told him, I was like, the crazy part about it, I think, is that the fact that he is a fighter, and there hasn't really been many fighters in recent time, like boxers or whatever, that have been on like a political or not even political, just
taking a stance.
Yeah, a stance on something. Versus like they're just fighting, you know. So it was like for him to do it versus like just like someone who could be labeled as like a conspiracy theorist, or all they do is podcast and talk or whatever it is, that you could be like you could paint him a certain.
He's obvious for that role, but someone like Ryan Garcia is not obvious for that role.
Yeah, so kind of it's like out of left field almost.
Yeah,
and which makes it almost like a little more like, ooh, what is it? Like ooh. Like, you kind of want to pay a little more attention
about
to
that? Because he doesn't have to do that.
Especially because, yeah, he's on a track to be fighting. But then it makes you think about his last fight. How did he lose? His only loss, how did he lose?
He lost because somebody in his camp told the other camp that his rib got separated. So the dude just aimed for was trying to hit him there, and then he got that one clean shot at the end. And then it fucked him up. He couldn't fight. He just dropped down. So someone snitched on him.
If we're going to go down that thing, it's like, okay, well, how long has this been, like, where did this start? You know what I mean? So... that's my take on it. We'll see. But then I also see, did I say it on here? I don't know if I said it on here or not. If I'm not, I'm going to say it now. I was like, it has been a while since someone's been, like, murdered in our eye, like, in front of our eyes. Where it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, people have died and, you know, COVID came, so different things happen. And people die every day and whatever. Like, there's, the one thing that was probably the craziest I've seen was that movie shoot where Alec Baldwin, like, shot with the prop gun. And the person died. Like, that's, like, probably one of the craziest, whatever. Other things is all, like, underneath. I guess Nipsey Hussle.
I thought PB and Rock was after him.
And Juice WRLD, I guess. But that's, like, but in a sense, like, yeah, but I can't remember how, I guess Juice WRLD died off drugs or whatever. But he was put in a situation to take them. So... you know, but it's just like, but like that, you know what I mean? I don't know. So then the next week or so happens, and this happens, and I'm like, whoa.
Dude, I was thinking about the election the other day because I think they just had the, what's it called? The
super election or the primary.
What's it called? Something of the state. Something. What is it called?
State primary.
State of the Union.
Yeah.
State of the Union. Okay.
Yeah,
like a speech. Okay.
Yeah, and then I was watching. That's the first time I ever seen Joe Biden since he got elected. Like, oh, look at him go. I was laughing.
He doesn't look like he knows where he's at.
It's very sad, actually.
Dude, I told my mom this today because I think my mom voted for him. I told her, I was like, imagine your dad when he was like getting close to it, whatever. And I was like, imagine putting him up in front of the world and making him talk to the.
It didn't look like he knew where he was.
Like, he does, like, a lot of time, like, I've watched him talk.
Like, it looked like he knows he's just supposed to shake hands, be like, thank you for coming.
Like,
but I was like, he doesn't look like.
And he's also not. There's no way he gets out of bed. Like, all of us wake up out of bed and go through our day, and you might take a little supplement here. You might drink some coffee, whatever. You might drink a whatever energy drink, right? But you don't have to. Like, you can go.
Right.
This dude is not getting to that podium without some sort of Energizer Bunny drumming on him with whatever it is, Adderall, whatever the thing is.
He's got a shot collar that zaps him when he
does it. It's definitely crazy. And that's why, like, I don't know, for the Democratic Party, like, are they running this guy again? Are they doing something different? You know? I think the most realistic option would be Trump with Robert Kennedy Jr. as his vice president. And then that leads Robert Kennedy Jr. the chance to get to the presidency after that, after Trump's 4 years. Then you have Trump. So that would probably be like
hot topic.
Because otherwise, he's gonna run independent, and he's not gonna win. He's gonna have no chance. It's gonna be the Democrat versus Trump, and I don't know how many people who voted for Biden are gonna flip over versus who even voted for Biden to begin with. You know, I don't know how many.
I thought Trump already picked his vice president.
Did he?
Yeah, but at any point you can just be like,
They're out the race.
you're out. You know, Kamala Harris didn't just start as Biden's.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Well, no,
I forgot
it's
about
not.
her.
It's
She
not
got
Kamala. Well, not Kamala.
No,
It's
I'm
not
saying,
gonna be.
But
But the people get changed all.
It's
like,
not Mike Pence this time though.
Yeah, it's not. No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be the same. Which is why it leaves the door open for, what is the thing that I think that's like the only realistic option that has any, because otherwise it's RBK on an independent run, and he has no money to back him really. So how's he gonna win?
RBK.
Which actually, my mom. This is one thing that came out of my mom's conversation earlier when I was talking to her. It was like, I got to this. I was like, damn, because I was always saying like one thing I liked about Trump was that he showed you that someone other than a politician could be president.
Mhm.
And I was always just thinking like he was famous and things like that, and he was a business guy. But then my mom was like, yeah, because he had money, and I was like, yes, he showed you that the politicians you don't become the president by being a politician. You become the president by having money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens. And
When
I was like,
politicians
oh
have
shit,
money.
like okay, that's another level to that thing. And I was like, Trump really added that.
Which
aspect.
means it shows that every election is really just bought by who's getting the most donations.
And then on the flip side is when Trump was like, anything you want to say about the guy, whatever. When Trump wasn't president, people gave a shit. You know, people gave a shit about everything he was doing. Everyone was on his ass about this, and that. Joe Biden becomes president. No one gives a shit about $80 billion going to a random country. In our country, it's still
That is
got
a good point. 'Cause
Flint,
I was thinking
Michigan.
about that the other day about how much people wanted to hate on Biden, like their hate didn't turn into a perception.
yeah.
With Trump, their hate turned into
It's a narrative.
It was it was we're
Exactly.
following this dude's every step, every white.
And this one is
Yeah, let
on
him
the
make a
toilet.
comment.
this
that
one.
we
The
don't
narrative
Yeah.
that you're allowed to is just make
The
fun
fact
of him.
checking
You're
him
allowed to
every
make
single
fun of him.
way. Yeah.
Dude, there was so many Trump jokes. It was all SNL
Trump-
every week.
yeah.
was
To be
Trump
fair
jokes,
though,
Trump
to
jokes,
be
Trump
fair though,
jokes.
and I
I
thought
guess you're
about
always allowed to make fun of him.
I thought about this in the same thought process. It's the what's the word I'm looking for? The words like somebody that's under dispute constantly, like scrutiny kind of is where I was gonna go, but the candidate who's under scrutiny for the Democrats never gets talked about while they're in office, just before and after. For the Republicans, it's all during. Because the second Trump was out of office, then it was all focused on Biden.
I don't
Democrat-
necessarily
Yeah,
agree with
but
that,
Trump's
though,
been trying to
because-
get.
but
They've
it-
been trying to get Trump in jail for the last 4
Oh,
years.
yeah,
or just
1000%.
diminish his name for the last 4 years.
1000%. But
Even more.
you got to think, if you go back to before he even ran, all the same
Yeah.
that we're seeing now. So it's not like it changed.
I think Trump's
From before
is
to
an
after.
outlier for sure.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
He is. He's
But
the first, he's one of the
Think
first
about when
non-politicians.
Obama was in. Yeah, there were a whole bunch of people watching him, but not the same way they were watching Trump.
Hey, everyone was
Definitely
asleep.
not.
Everyone thought that.
They were just
Everyone
like,
thought that life was great.
that's and that's what I noticed for both Obama and
Not
Biden.
everyone, but
During these both of their runs or both of their time in office, it was just kind
both
of
their
like
championship runs.
During-
4 Pete.
during both of their times in office, and where with Trump, the second he proposed anything, everybody was on it. But when it's a Democrat in office,
Oh yeah,
it's
no
not
one-
until it's out
yeah,
and
until it's
functioning
in
that
use.
everybody's
Yes,
on it.
That makes sense. I see what you're
That's
talking
really
about.
and that's really what I've come to notice. And it's because when
Well-
you look further, look at how Democrats campaign, look at how Republicans campaign. They're both saying all the same. I
Yeah.
can fix this. I promise you I can do
100%.
this. I promise you I can do this. But the main difference that I have seen, at least, is that Democrats are like, oh, we're going to do this. This is what's going to happen. And so once they get in, the entire country's like, all right, well, let's see how it goes. Republicans are like, oh, we're going to make this happen. We're going to make that happen. So they're not coming in with a plan. And so it's like, all right, well, what are you going to do now that you're here? And it's the...
Well, that makes
I
sense
feel
in a
like-
sense
Go ahead.
because this is the things I noticed. When Trump was in office, we had cheaper gas and shit like that, and my life was cheaper. Okay. They showed you that same thing during the thing. You had Trump in 2020 going, "We're bringing vaccines," right? And then you had the Democrats saying, "Don't don't take this. They rushed it, blah, 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 blah. Trump loses the election, whatever happens. Biden gets in, and then they do, this is happening. These are the, after
Here's
a
our
year,
plan.
here's the vaccines, and you have to take them in order to keep your job or keep this and that. And someone who's been fighting the disease with a hospital mask, who's a nurse or whatever, for a year and a half, paying off her student loans even get to the nursing, has to decide to take this vaccine or not.
We actually knew somebody who, right when they made it mandatory, like she was at like the last, I think 2 weeks of her like nursing training, like the last 2 weeks, and she already got her job, and they were like, okay, well if you want this job, you have to take this vaccine. So she was either like, I throw everything I worked towards for the past whatever years away, or I take the vaccine. And so she took it because she's like, that was her choice. But it's like, you didn't have a choice. You didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Like you do, but you don't.
And then, what was I going to say? You have your thought?
Yeah, I have two thoughts, but I want to comment on yours, and I want to bring it back a little bit from something that you said. I think when it comes to like the Democratic Party, a lot.
So you went way back. It's only been 2 minutes.
No, I got a comment.
I'm commenting on what
yeah.
you said, and then I'm gonna bring it back to what you said.
Yeah, Jason laughing made me jump into that.
I think like when it really comes down to Democratic parties, that they specifically target certain groups to try to like sway their opinion and try to like pull their vote towards whatever the Democratic Party wants to do. And I feel like the Conservative Party also does that, but I feel like they do it more on a scale of like a mass group. And what I mean by that is like when Trump talks, and this is just purely for my example, right? And I can probably think of other political figures, but like when Trump talks, right, I feel like he's not talking just to like what he thinks his followers are.
Yeah, he's not talking to the corporate. He's
talking to the American people.
He's talking to that dude drinking a Bud Light.
Talking to the
well, I think he's talking to everybody.
Yeah, he is.
You know what
he's
I'm
talking
saying?
to the business guy. He's talking to the dude drinking a Bud Light.
Whoever's tuning.
He's talking to the dude who appreciates the gas being $2.
Right. But I think when Biden talks, he's only talking to the people that are paying his pockets. And that's just what I believe.
Okay, that makes
the thing about Biden that I don't care about all the politics stuff because I just doesn't interest me. But the thing I watch is like just the way people operate and maneuver. And like there's so many clips of Biden. Like there's one where there's like a path, right? It's like literally like a concrete path. Like, you know, when you walk out a house, there's like a path you follow where you don't enter the grass. And there's a dude. It's like the path is like here, and he's supposed to turn like this. And there's a dude standing right here to kind of like guide him this way, and he's walking. And he literally just walks in. There's bushes right here. The dude's here. The path curves. He walks in between them and keeps going like the wrong way. And the guy has to go track him down and bring him. So it's like he literally has no idea where he's going.
That's why I feel like it's really just like his cabinet's like running the show.
They're like, oh, it's like the turtle on the beam, right? And the turtle's just walking, and every time the turtle gets to the edge, they just push him back on it, and then push. Like I really don't think he has any idea what's going on.
Did you guys see the video of him falling up the stairs?
Oh
yeah.
No.
The funniest one is him off the bike.
I saw the video of him off the bike. Yeah.
Well, he's riding the bike.
I only went.
He's like stopped and
just right off.
just pure comedy, honestly.
I only went and watched the up.
Anyone who does that, you would laugh
You're just
at.
a goof.
Doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
If you're on a bike, you stop riding, you just fall over.
It's like a 4-year-old trying to learn how to ride.
Think
a
about how
bike,
other countries, if another country who's especially a country who hates America, looks at them like that's their leader. Especially if they believe that we chose that leader. That's who they chose.
They're laughing. They're laughing just like everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how fucked their situation might be or good.
It's sad.
You know, I did remember my thought. It's not about the vaccine, but when Delta, during the COVID, a bunch of like the workers come at the spot. So when you can have a conversation, she was telling me how they were working there, and then no one was taking flight. Like flights were really much reduced, so they had to cut a bunch of people, right? So in order to do that, they basically tried to weed out their older employees by giving them a better incentive retirement package. So all those people took it. So some people took it, and some people weren't ready to retire, so they didn't take it, right? COVID gets down, flights pick back up, and now they're short staffed. So what do? They go back to the people that took the retirement thing, and then ask if they wanted their job back, but they get to keep the extra incentive. So anyone who said yes to the incentive got the incentive and got the choice to go back to work, while anyone who worked through it doesn't get it because they didn't take that opt out, but then they needed people to come back. So it's like if you were so you got basically like a year off, and you got a better retirement package, and now you're back making money.
Nice.
I was like, those people, that's lit. The other side, you should have gave everyone who's working, anyone
the same shit.
Yeah,
Sure.
Or
or
at
you should have
least given them a bonus.
or
like,
some back pay.
compensated, yeah.
Back pay for being the
Yeah,
front
for
lines.
working that year.
Mhm.
Like, okay, we'll give you an extra like 30 grand.
Some
or
incentive
shit.
or whatever. You all see that fucking when Burger King gave that dude like a thing of Reese's and like some Sour Patch Kids or some shit for working there for like 25 years or 30 years. It's like thanks for working here. It was really like it looked like the guy stopped at the gas station across the street, grabbed a couple of candies, and gave it to him. And then like people ended up starting like a GoFundMe or whatever, and he got like the story got him what got him his bonus whatever. But I was like 25.
All right. Oh my
Give
god,
you a
that
pack
just
of
reminded me.
Reese's?
That just reminded me.
Bruh, that's
I'd have to
crazy.
do it live for it to actually like hit. It was so funny though. I was like, one of the things since I was like, like the hashtag Hunter Strike, I was like, yo, I should start a GoFundMe. And then I started looking at the GoFundMes, and I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, there's people who are like are dying of cancer, and like nobody's donating. I'm like, I'm not gonna win on here,
See,
dude.
well,
Like,
but it really is all
It's all story.
promotion.
yeah,
it's-
exactly.
Story
yeah,
and promotion.
It's the
Because
heart
there-
wrenchers, dude.
It
There
is.
are.
I got a heart wrench even harder.
There was
You get the money off it, then you make a movie, and you make more money.
there was a
About the
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
There was a GoFundMe that was like
About-
send $1
About
just
the
cause.
story.
Like that was their whole. It was send $1 just cause. Then they had this huge paragraph that was like, "I'm done working for corporate America, so I'm reaching out to my fellow Americans. Send $1 if you believe in the dream." Like 35K.
We should do that.
Like 35K. People will donate if you put it in front of their face. Like because it's also
you gotta get to the right people.
yeah.
But at the same time, there's air traffic control on those things. So
Oh yeah, 1000%.
it's like you gotta wait for your flight, or you gotta just fucking suicide mission it through it. Otherwise, you know, that's how people get like overnight. You know what I mean? They just turn you up. Like how many Ryan Garcia posts do you see? Turn you up or turn you down.
Yeah.
But then if there's as much people making the post, then you can't. It fluctuates. But if it's just like a generate like Ed Sheeran post something, and all of a sudden I don't even follow Ed Sheeran, but I got Ed Sheeran shit on my thing. You know what I mean? It's like I think a good description is I think a lot of people forgot about this, and you had to have an iPhone at the time. Remember when they put a U2 album on everyone's phone?
Yeah. The YouTube.
They put a
album.
U2 album on everyone's iTunes, and you like couldn't delete it. Like it was just there, and it was like, what?
It was actually a good album.
It was actually a good.
But
album.
everyone hated it because it's like get
You were
this shit off my
forced
phone.
yeah. But it was all, but like that's that thought that they can at any point they can just upload to everyone's phone something that you don't
YouTube's
want.
amazing though.
Anything. I just had a conversation yesterday with somebody I was working with, and we were talking about how we thought people got to sing halftime performances, like halftime performances and national anthems. And like, there's no backing behind this. We're
Oh,
just
how
kinda
it started?
shooting the more so like, what do you think the parameters to get there are? Because I always think
Well,
when
the Super Bowl is
like,
Jay-Z at this point, but in the past, I don't know.
but it's like so and my brain they're you see the people that you kind of think shouldn't be there because their following's not that big,
Yeah.
and then you see the people who you're like, oh, obviously you're doing this.
Well,
but
I think it's whatever you know how like UFC is with like Bud Light and with Boom, and then NFL's brought to you by Pfizer,
how are you
or
gonna look?
you
I
know,
don't know.
or the NFL's got their partnerships.
Uh-huh.
So it's like whatever your grouping
Did it for
is,
Possibly.
then you got to take it a level up. Okay, what are those things owned by? And then you steep into the music. Like every
Yo.
little like a company like Pepsi Cola's got like they got everything right in a certain
See,
way.
and we also boiled it down to the thought process of like, I feel like it's a lot of just greasing the right pockets.
Yeah, sucking the right dicks.
Because there
Scooping out the right
are
people.
times where it's
Scooping
like
out the right.
it'll be a big game.
Gobbling down the right.
It'll be a big game and somebody
Yeah.
with not a lot of following. Then there are times where like it's not a big game. Why is this person the one singing the national
Could be
anthem?
hometown too.
Yeah,
certain
and,
things like
and there's a lot at play. But I feel like
T-Pain did the halftime show at the Chiefs game in the Ravens, and he literally just like you couldn't even hear. It was literally just him on stage, and you just heard his songs. I was like,
Jack Harlow did the
what
Detroit
is going on? Yeah, they set him up. Both other two were like way more money production wise. His was just like some like
Him and his homie.
mall Santa fluffing,
Yeah.
and then like cheerleaders. It was just like
I thought he was dope, but I thought what they didn't
present
do
him.
enough for him.
if you like sit there and you watch 1, 2, 3 like 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, or 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you can see like the money in each one.
But that's my point, and that's kind of what me and the dude at work were getting into about how I feel like it's two sides of the coin. If you're not there yet, like if we were to try to perform at halftime, we would definitely have to grease pockets, and we'd get the Jack Harlow treatment, where it's like, all right, well, you made it here,
Didn't do enough for him.
yeah. But the people that are there, I feel like it's vice versa, where it's like, hey, we know views aren't going to be super up on this one. Like, we're willing to throw you X, Y, Z.
You know what the difference is? The difference is how many people make money off you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference.
That's
The less amount of people who make money off you, the less
then
help
you're
you
going to have to, yeah.
The more amount of people who make money off you, the more you have help. Because people are like, oh, I'm making money off
So
this.
I definitely think some people are asked, some people are asking.
Nick Saban retired because of money.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give him enough?
No, because of the NIL deals. Like the kid, like instead of kids coming to when he's recruiting them, coming to talk to him about like how they can get to like the NFL or how they can get better or what he can help them with or whatever. It's how much money can I get if I come here or blah blah blah. And then if you go to Clemson, how much money can you get from because the air conditioning company wants you to do ads for them and shit like that. So now these kids are going to college with almost like shortening their dream. Like you get a little money now, knowing they're gonna spend it and blow it. Because the NFL players do when they're in the NFL. So then, but it's just a little level to it, you know. And then now you get the parents more involved because now the parents are like, oh, I can get my kid. All they need to do is get to college. I'm gonna make money off them. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So then, and so it takes away from the purity of you're in college in this league to get to the league, versus like
try to be amazing.
Instead of you think you're already there, like I'm already there, and then you don't. You know, maybe that kid who it stunts him because he needed 3 more years of grinding for that check to get to but he just got it and now he became complacent. Now he's not going to be.
He's not hustling.
He's not going to be the guy that can influence the game, even though
and you know
even if the NFL doesn't want
you know what's going to be. What's going to happen is the overall skill because of money will deteriorate, but there still will be those people who strive to be better than. And there's gonna be like huge, like you know how like LeBron James is like
That's what I was gonna say,
significantly
basketball.
more dominant than other people. Like is going to have more and more that level. Like everyone who's like even like like Steph Curry level, right? Where it's like the goats of the game, you know, like KD, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, whoever you'd put at like the top of the game. That'll be like there'll be those people, but there's gonna be the newer people who are trying to beat them. So there's gonna be people who are like well above even those guys. And then there's going to be everyone else just down here just getting by. And then you're going to have, like, the superstars are going to be superstars, like, even bigger, like, way better than everybody because there's going to be people who just, like, came for the check. Mm-hmm. And those people came to hoop. So it's going to be lit. You're going to have, like, really fucking superhuman people.
True. Like, they just did, it's like Vegas dropped a tournament where, like, the teams, like, any team who enters, who, like, gets invited, like, the winning team gets... I think it's like both teams make the championship get $1 million, and then the winning team gets $2 million in like NIL deals for the whole team. Mm. So it's like as a squad, it's like there's only how many people on a basketball team? Like 12, 13, 14, and then you have the coaches or whatever. So if it's for the kids between 12 and 13, that's like $100,000.
80 a piece.
$100,000 a piece, 80 a piece, and then if you win, you get 160. You know what I mean? 160K, and if you're on scholarship, you're golden, man. So it's like that. So that's crazy. It's like to whatever, but then. I don't know, man. The sports is I'm not sure where it's going, because the money's racking up in them, but like how far can it go?
Where does all this money come from?
Like like Shohei Ohtani getting like
they print it up.
Like, yeah, like Shohei.
On a couple
trees. Ohtani got like a ridiculous. I don't even remember the deal, like $700 million or.
Yeah, but it's delayed money.
Yeah, he's gonna get it in 10 years or whatever. But think about it, he gets to play baseball for the next 10 years, still making like money to live, and then when he retires, he's gonna get a fat load of money to do what to do with. So,
No,
and then on
definitely.
the other side, your team now doesn't suck. The team sucks later. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, while you're on it, the team's going to be good. You know? Then
Yeah,
the team
that-
sucks for a little bit, then they use you to bring the team
But
back
they're gonna
with
use
fans.
that legacy to carry them into those poor
Yeah,
years.
and then boom,
selling his jersey and shit.
you know, and then across the pond, then right down the street is another team. Is right down the street, so they'll just boost that one for a little bit. You know, so LA doesn't lose. You know, but still, it's like, how much money can you, like, who, like, there's only so many players that really surpass each other that are really that goated. So it's like, how, like, where's the level where it's like, this is like the LeBron contract, and then this is like, you know, whatever the next qualification would be, you would label it down and go like that, where it's like, because how, like, where's all this money coming? It's got to be ads and shit like that.
It's really the people who work regular jobs, because most people
Going to the game.
you work like most people make. Even if you make $10 an hour and you work 40 hours a week, you made $400 after taxes. You make like $320, right? So let's just say you make $10. You have like $300 a week. So let's just say like $1,200 at the end of the month, which is low end, right? For if you're like a consistent worker, $1,200. And let's just say you don't do rent or anything, and you just like you're living for free. You don't pay any bills, but you make $1,200 a month. Most people are gonna take that $1,200 and probably spend it down to like $200, $150. By the end of that month, they won't have any of that money. They'll have like a little bit of money, so that they're not looking at their bank account and being, oh, I'm broke. Because when you get too low, you're like, oh shit, I should stop spending. But when you go up, it's like wherever your level is, where you're like, oh shit, I should stop spending. That's how broke you'll be. If it's $500, you'll always have $500. If it's $1,000, you'll always have 1,000. If it's 10,000, you'll always have 10,000. Whatever your level, where you'll be like, oh shit, that's the level. That's how broke you're gonna be, or how rich you're gonna be. Wherever that oh shit hits. Most people's oh shit is down to $100. And now you add bills and shit like that. Most people make more than that. But so all that money, the average everyday person, we're all working. It's all just a big sustenance game. We're all working to sustain. Like you have food, you have industry, you have whatever it is. And then the companies, the big people, it's like we're all just like take our money, just throwing it to the people up there. Everyone down here is just working to sustain, and all the excess just goes back to them because we just buy shit. Just buy shit we want. Like I was talking to Amber, and then because I had $100 bill in my wallet. She's like, oh, can I have that? And I was like, all right, what are you gonna do with it? If I give you this $100, what are you gonna do with it? She's like, I'm gonna spend it. And she's 7, so I'm like, well, I was like, no, that's not the right answer. And I was like, I'll give it to you if you give me the right answer. And she's like, she's like, okay. She's like, well, I'll spend it on stuff for the house. She was like trying to figure out what she should spend it on that would make it be the right answer. All along, the right answer was save it. If she told me to save it, I would have given her that $100. Like, all right, good answer, take it. I wouldn't have given it to her, but I would have put it in where her money is. But her every single channel in her mind was spend it. And I told her at the end, yeah, the answer was save it. She didn't even have the channel in her head to save it. Like that wasn't even there, it didn't exist. But and she's 7, so it's like, and I haven't taught her about money, so I'm like, you're getting taught about money by the world, and that's what they're teaching you. Spend it.
She buy cred for sure.
Yeah, some prime. It's actually Takis though.
Yeah.
Her form of currency and her clout tokens is Takis. Like those kids who pull up with Takis in class are the goats of the class. But I let her take Takis to school, and she told me when she came home, she told me that she gave them all. She's like, I gave them. She's like, I gave them away, and I was like, what do you mean you gave them away? She's like, yeah, anyone who asked me, I gave them one. And I looked, and like you count the bag, like the bag gave her like 20, 30 Takis. She has about 23 kids in her class. So minus her is 22. So I'm like, you took this bag, and you just gave one to everybody. Like you ended up with like 8 left. I was like, I'm not buying food for the whole class. Like shit, they got their own parents who can buy them shit. Like I'm not fucking feeding the whole class. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you one Taki in your lunch, because then you can't give it away. You only have one. But she'll probably break it in half and give it. But so I literally only gave her one. As ridiculous as it sounds, I gave her one Taki, like one out the bag in her lunch. I was like, oh, now you can't give it away. But she could still be like, I have a Taki.
I mean, it's still she's so kind.
She is. She's too kind.
So it's like a battle at both ends. But then on the same token, it's like, if the bag is on the low end of the, because like they go by weight. Like you can grab like a heavier one or whatever. So if you get a low end weight one, and there's only 24, 25, then she might only get one. And then, who knows? I mean, but if she only wants the one anyway, then I guess
that's what I told her. I was like, if you want to, like, there's nothing wrong with giving people. Like, if you can be as giving as you want, but I'm not going to be your your sponsor. I'm not your sponsor.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
So, like, if you want to work and you want to make, because I would give her stuff to make money. If she wanted to make money, I would give her some shit to do and give her a couple bucks. If If you want to work and you want some money and you want to take that money and you want to buy shit and you want to give it away, you do it. But I'm not finna just buy shit for you to give away. I'm not your sponsor. And that's how I look at it. If it's your money, you do what you want with it. But if it's my money, I'm gonna do what I want with it because I worked for it.
Valid.
Period.
True.
So you can be anything you want to be, whatever you want to be, on your dime. She's 7 on your dime. Get a job.
That actually tracks me back to when I was at the first question you answered to Brian. You were talking about like money and time, and I went down a huge rainbow bubble about this. Like, I think I was standing in the kitchen for a solid like 20 minutes, just staring off into space, thinking about.
Probably eating something.
No, I didn't make it there. Like, I didn't get the fridge open. I was just stood there and had this thought process, right? And like I boiled it down to. I boiled it down to money is the result of time. But time is never the result of money. And it was because Eddie was talking about how you can buy money with time, but you can't buy time with money.
True.
So they say. I mean,
but
we might have some fifth rounders going on.
So
here's
but here's the thing, because I went down that whole thought process too, though.
But I agree.
They still had to spend the time to make the money. So even if you do, if you
That's
could
true.
pay to go back in time, you're really breaking even.
Have you seen Get Out?
At that point? Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
But you're really breaking even at that
Our
point.
plan's working.
Yeah.
That's so bad, dude.
But
I've never seen Get Out.
Eddie didn't get it. I was looking at Eddie,
That's
and we made
cute.
eye contact. That's why I made the joke, because the people watching could just see if I got contact. But then I could realize that he didn't understand what I was talking
Wait,
about.
I watched the movie with Eddie last week. It's an imposter.
yeah, I just went down this whole rabbit hole about how like there's nothing you can do to make money without spending time on it. Nothing.
True.
There's nothing you can do to make money without.
Well,
spending
because time is like the what's it called?
Constant.
Static. It's the static,
Yeah.
and money's the dynamic. Because
And
you have
so-
to you have to
Yeah.
be existing.
But
The
you
only-
can exist for
The
a
only
long
way is
ass
if you
time
literally
without money.
if you walked up
True.
on it like a sack of cash.
But you still had to walk up on it.
Yeah.
You will always spend time.
But
to
what
get
if you're
money.
already on your walk to
You're
the
still spending
store
that
and
time.
you just happen to see it?
That time just got more valuable.
And I went on a walk the other day.
Mm.
I went on a walk the other day. It was gonna be a run. Then I ran like, I realized a couple things in my run. I'll tell you about my run. So I started by running, and I usually run for a little bit, and then I do these like high knee skips, and then like there was a bunch of workers, and I looked ridiculous, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna skip even higher for them, which I did it, because I wasn't gonna be embarrassed by what I was doing. So I said, fuck it. But I was going, and then I was on like this. There's like by the road a sidewalk, and then in the neighborhood, and you know how like in between houses you can kind of see like to the road or like to the neighborhood road. So I see a lady like walking her dog, and I started walking at this point, and I realized that we were gonna meet at the exact same point in the crosswalk, and then one goes this way and one goes this way, and I didn't know which way she was gonna go, and I realized that I didn't want to interact with her at all. I was like, I don't want to talk to this person. Like I actually actively avoided this person, so I started running again. And I ran, so I'd beat her to the sidewalk so that I'd get past and I wouldn't have to even say hi. I didn't want to say hi at all. I didn't want any interaction. And then I kept running up the road. And then I went to stretch my legs because I don't stretch enough. So I kind of like stretch mid-run. I'd like pause and do stretches. And I looked back as I was stretching and I saw she was coming in my direction. I was like, fuck. So I started running again. I was like,
Couldn't get away.
I was like, I didn't want to interact at all. And then, but it's funny because at the end of the walk, I did walk by someone, like I couldn't avoid it. And then they looked at me and they're like, keep it up. And then it kept going. So I don't know. That was cool. But I realized in this walk, I was like, okay, if I think about it, like I just actively avoided that person, which means like in deep down, I really don't want to be seen. Like I don't want to be seen. And I thought about like fame like that. I was like, I actually don't want to be famous. Like I really don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
If it happens, it happens. But I actively don't want it. And I'm like, okay, then what is it? Do I want money? And I thought about, I was like, what would I do with money? And I was like, what I would do with money is I would stay home. I'd spend time with my family. I would create shit and play video games. And I was like, that's what I'm doing already. I'm already doing that. I stay home. I mean, because I'm not in work right now, but I'll go back to work. But I stay home. I create shit. I play video games. I spend time with family. That's it. That's all I do. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I already have exactly what I already want. I already have it.
It's wild too because I this morning had the realization that I had a very guru weekend.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because everything you're saying is like something that happened to me over this weekend. Because I had a big weekend. I went to a conference for one job, worked the opening night for another job. Like, just big weekend, lots of stuff to get done. And the conference and the shifts were on the same day. So that was just like a long ass day for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday. But another conversation I had while I was at work was along that same principle. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to remember what the last thing you said before I accidentally cut you off was.
I have what I want. I'm doing what I want to do already.
Yeah, about if you had money. This is probably my favorite question favorite way I've ever answered that question, because somebody asked me there, like, because I was just filling somebody in. We've been on a break for a long time, and this person I'm like really F with at the job. They like-minded person, so we were just talking about like what we did in between the last time we worked to now. And they were telling me all about it. And then I started talking. I didn't even really realize how much is going on in my life right now until I was catching this person up, because Bree's got the flower garden growing now, which is we're about at the point of putting it actually outside in the ground. So that's huge. I added on a whole bunch of plants in my garden. We've got like this at this job, that at that job, bought a thing to work on a new business on top of everything else, kind of incorporating it into everything else that's happening. So I was just telling them about that, and they're like, dang, like, what are you working this hard for? I was like, what you mean? They're like, all right, let's say everything takes off and everything becomes autonomous. So you're just making money from it.
Yeah.
What are you spending that money on? And I sat there and I really thought about it. And I was like, first thing I'd do, like if I had $50K that I could just let go of, first thing I'm doing is I'm putting any other person that has $50K they could let go on blast. First thing I'm doing. Automatic is just being like, I'm donating this to whatever I'm firmly like, I know this is going to go to the right place. If they got a crap ton of money. And the first thing I'm doing is I'm putting as many people as I can actually touch, like as many people as I'll actually strike a nerve with, on blast for not doing the same thing I'm doing.
You're wild.
That would be the first thing I did.
Okay, I'm going to say this, because I've thought about this too. I thought about like, okay, if you... I say this all the time. There's only two things that actually matter in life. It's your dream, your passion, whatever you want to call it, and your family, people you love. That's it. That's the only thing that matters. Everything else doesn't matter. The only real decisions in life come when you have to choose between those two things. When you have to choose between whether it's family and family, or family and your dream, or your dream and your dream. Like you can only do one thing at a time, and you have to choose like one of these things, and you got to pick one of the over. Sometimes it's easy. It's like, because one can wait in that moment. Sometimes it's hard when neither one can wait, and you have to kind of figure out how to either try to put your hands on both at the same time or let one go for the time being. But everything else is not a choice. If it's between family and money, it's always family. If it's between the dream and money, it's always a dream. Nothing else is a choice. It's only ever a real choice in life if it's between those two things. Everything else is just clockwork. And if you're ever making the decisions that is picking anything else over those things, you got your shit fucked up. You need to get yourself centered, get yourself in order, and then continue. But if you made that money and you made the 50 G's, if you don't have a dream, which a lot of people don't, right? Most people have somebody in their life that loves them or that they love, or both. Not everyone has the dream, right? Maybe 5% of the world actually actively has a dream, and maybe 5% of those people actively pursue it. But, and maybe more, because someone's dream is sometimes more simple, like they just want to make enough money to retire and then go live in Florida or some shit, and that's their dream, right? And that's okay, like whatever it is. But if you have a dream that is creative, or if you don't have a dream that's creative and you have 50K, the difference is the person that doesn't have a dream and they have the 50K, they'll spend that 50K trying to make more money. They'll take money to make more money. Then they'll make more money, and they'll take that money to make more money, and they're continuing like, oh, I have money, I'm going to make more money. You see it all the time. People just making more money. They're like, oh, I got money, I'll make more money. And they use money to make money, and that's it. Because they don't have a dream. They have nothing to put it into. So I'd say take your first 50 grand, do what you want with it, fucking run the wheels and have fun, spin it. What I would do is I would take that 50 grand and invest it into the next portion of the dream. Meaning, if it's like, okay, I'm going to look at all the angles of what we're missing. We could put $3K into this room and make it a perfect, like damn near perfect studio for the podcast, I'd throw the $3K there. We could do, what else could we do? We could get a nicer camera. I always wanted one of those things that
mind you, I'm also under the assumption, because if I'm able, like I said, quote unquote, drop 50K. If I'm able to drop 50K, then that means I have enough money that's already handled.
Okay, fair, yeah. If you already covered all that.
Yeah, but I did find it super interesting what you were saying about like the non-dreamers. I found that is a direct yin and yang, because when the non-dreamers don't have money, they're the ones that are just chasing the bag. And then that continues. When the dreamers don't have money, they are chasing the bag, but they're also still trying to live life. And then once they have money, that's when they're like, all right, now I'm really going to focus on life. The non-dreamers are focusing on life while they're chasing the bag, and then they get stuck on the bag.
Yeah.
And so it's the difference in perspective there, because like right now I'm broke, but I do make a good bit of money. I'm just broke because all of my money goes to making more money. And it's not in the sense of like, oh, I'm out here putting in a 401k no, I'm out here trying to make sure that Bree has everything every individual flower is going to need. Because at the end of the day, even if she's not making $1 million off the flower business. So then
dare I say, what you're doing is exactly what I said that I would do. You're taking what you make and you're putting into that.
Yeah. But if I had money, I'm over that.
No, but this is the thing, bro. Like, even if you have money, and you could pay somebody to do everything that you're already doing, you really wouldn't want to. Because, like, the joy of it all.
I don't even mean like that. Like, I'm going to keep... I said this yesterday, too. I said this yesterday. If I were to hit the lottery for 50 mil tomorrow, I'd still go work the rest of my week. I would work the rest of this year. I'm not skipping a beat.
I wouldn't.
Because to me, like, the life I have worked for to establish where I'm at, I wanted to be here.
See,
so even if I could skip levels, why would I skip levels?
I would say this, like, I wouldn't keep my job only because
I wouldn't keep your job either.
My job doesn't service me other than the fact that what I've been able to put myself I put myself in a position to do the least amount of work for the most amount of money in the access that I can have.
But that's the difference in perspective. Yeah. Because I'm on the flip side where I'm like, I love what I do. At least in 2 of the 3. Yeah. Because, like I said, I wouldn't keep your job either.
See, the thing is, dude, like, if I had 50 million, like, first thing I would do is I would take, like, 35 million. Like, let's say it's after tax. You don't have to worry about taxes. Because if you do have to worry about taxes, you got to put half of it away. But I would take, like, 50 million. I would probably take... If it's already after tax, I would take 25 and tuck it away. If it's before tax, I'd probably take 35 or maybe 40 and tuck it away, because you're going to pay 25 out on taxes and you're going to have $15 million in the bank. That's just like whatever. Uh-huh. And then I'd take that $10 million and I'd probably be like, I'd buy the house. I'd be like, what do you guys need for your house? And what do you need for like a month-to-month basis? Because I think that would be smarter, because if I was like, here, take a year, it's easy to spend a year's worth of money. But if it's like a month-to-month, like, what do you need to get through your month? It would be harder to get you to quit your job, but I could get you to quit your job and be like, I need Eddie.
See, I wouldn't quit. I'd just shorten my hours.
Yeah.
Why, though?
Because I enjoy it.
But couldn't you put that more time into, like, making music or music videos or something like that?
And it's the same, and I had it. I'd like, as you were talking, it pinged for me. It's the same reason I do the 50K thing. It is because the fulfillment I feel is the same fulfillment I feel when I'm sitting in front of this mic or that one. It is that same, like, that is my passion. That is my dream. That's why I'm doing this, so I could do what I get to do a little bit of at my job.
Let me just interject real quick. So your perspective on what they do, that someone could sit on the other side of this door and question, why are we doing this right now? Why are we even podcasting to begin with? Why are you even whatever? But eventually, this could make us 50 million, and people ask, would we stop? No, we would keep doing it, right? Now, this might... Or you had 50 million. If not this did, if something else brought me 50 million, I would still come and podcast. Now, that's, you can't take away, depending on what the job is. Your job, and my job, I'm taking this no matter what. Their job, depending on what they're doing, there's something to teaching someone and something to that. So you can't take, so that's some, and there's something to this. Someone could come and say, no one's going to listen to you, or whatever, it doesn't matter what you say. But someone might be on the other end of this screen, listening and they hear something about this, and that takes them, and then it does matter. So it really depends on how do you view what you're doing. If you love what you do, Joe Rogan doesn't stop. No matter if the UFC paid him or not, he would go to those fights because he likes to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just depends. What are you doing? So if
I
you're
guess
if you're selling,
like
if
I
you're
said, like the only factor, because right now I'm not in work, and so literally on a day-to-day basis, I'm doing what I want to do. Like, of course, there's stuff that you just have to do. Like, you have to change the diaper, right? And I'm not like, oh, can't wait to change the diaper. Like, I don't really care. Like, I don't care if I have to change it.
You better be. Wait till that gets solid.
He's getting. At first,
wait till that gets solid, bro. You better be excited right now, but dog, I'm trying to let you know.
It is what it is, bro. It's like, I'm a surfer, man. I'm a silver surfer. I just ride the waves.
This man's son made the nastiest poop I think I've ever smelled in my life. Hell yeah, bro. Dude. It's so nasty. Yep.
Like, imagine
gassed out for like 3 hours.
It's hilarious.
Imagine you went to like the fish fry after having Mexican the night before, and then waking up and doing like the one chip challenge. That's what that smelled like.
And you ate like 90 Slim Jims before you did all that.
That's awesome.
Oh, not the 90s.
I couldn't actually smell it until you said Slim Jims. And now I can smell all of it.
Not just one.
Yeah.
90.
I can smell it now.
I remember every, what was it? The Bite of the James.
Bite of the James.
Bite of the James were rolling windows down for a while.
That was my favorite part of the trip.
Yeah,
Bite of the James. James might be gassing out the Oceanmobile.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, Tweety Bird was just falling out the sky.
Okay, what I was saying though is the difference is like now on a day-to-day basis, I pretty much do what I want to do,
but if they want to do that, you can't take that away.
Obviously, but work for me is something that I'm like, which actually I'm kind of excited to go back. But if I had the choice, dude, I would create my own avenues. Meaning, like, if I had a bunch of money, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna take this money and I'm gonna put it. And I actually have an idea because I was talking to Ryan. I was like, I'm at the point where it's like I want to do something new. So I'm like, I haven't wrote a single word, but I'm writing a script and I'm gonna write a short story. And I have roles for everybody so far. It's gonna be I'm gonna need 8 characters, and I have in mind who I want for the 8 characters and what roles I want them to play. And I have the concept, like I have the basic concept, but I gotta write the script for it, and then I want to shoot this like short story, do like a 20-minute, even 15-minute, even if it's 10, like whatever it is, just to do it. It might be terrible, like it might come out trash and be like, oh, that movie's fucking terrible, but it might be awesome.
I rewatched, and I knew this was a thing.
Well, Cloverfield was just the camera running around. Shit.
I forgot about it for a
long time. It was just the
audio
book,
but it's always. I'm pretty certain it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Started off as a short film.
Oh, really?
It was a short film for years, and then got picked up as a full TV show.
Oh, wow.
Because it just had so much traction. So yeah, run that.
So yeah, that's my idea, and I have roles for everybody. It's actually hilarious. Yeah. But
so
I think to
for
take
reference idea real quick, when you do write that, about 1 minute a page. Is it like what a page is? Is like about 1 minute.
1 minute of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like if you write a full page of dialogue, it will be about 1 minute in the screen.
So I need 20 pages essentially.
If you wanted it to be 20 minutes.
Well, not every moment's going to be dialogue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you gotta.
That's okay. I was actually.
Because you also gotta determine how long that transition is, because that's a fact.
I can't wait. I have the idea.
It might be 45 seconds. Might be a minute. It's about 1 minute.
You know, see, I think that I can definitely write a great script. I know that because I'm a great writer. But my only thing is, I'm like, well, is it gonna show up on the camera looking decent? Because I don't want it to like everything's dope with the camera quality and like the angles and shots are just trash.
That comes down to the blocking. That's a different part of it.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Blocking's like this camera looking at us right now. If I'm facing this way talking to you, I want to like lean or angle myself so that the camera can still see my face. Because I'm talking to Calvin like this. No one can see.
Unless we want the shots on Calvin and you want to see his facial reaction based on what you're saying.
Well, then that depends on the blocking.
Yeah. Okay. So I know what you're saying then.
But as long as you don't make me sing the N-word. I'm
sing
down.
The N-word?
Yeah.
In the tune of
it
ain't me.
I was recently
asked.
I'm not gonna say too much because I think they're still gonna do it, and like it's a funny concept. But
I would never ask you to do
I'm
that.
gonna
That literally would have never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
It's a funny
It only is in
concept.
my mind now because y'all just.
Now I'm thinking of how I incorporate it in the script.
It's a funny concept. But I was
shit.
recently asked by a group
I'm
of
sure it didn't cross your
Caucasian
mind either.
individuals
Oh, no.
to
Until this
sing
happened.
a parody of whatever.
Do they have a
that
camera?
That song I
song-
was just singing. I don't know the
Yeah.
actual name of it.
to sing a
Fortunate
parody
Son.
of that song. Yeah.
Fortunate Son. Yeah.
Sing a parody of Fortunate Son, and they were like, "See that one of us would do it, but for it to
See,
work."
okay, as a member of the white race, when I really like, and I'm sure they're good people, but like when I see white people do shit like that, I'm really just like, dude, like you're the reason why people fucking hate us, bro.
I mean, yeah, but
That's the reason. I'm
to
looking
the
at
same
like,
extent,
come on,
to
dude,
the same
like,
extent, though, I will say, and
sure they're
Joe,
great
I mean,
people.
Joe
this is
Biden
what-
does a good job.
this is what I said in the moment as well. Like, I feel like
Yeah, sorry.
that if you're that passionate about it, you have to ask, because it is as wrong to me
Wait. Passionate about what?
about like their skit. They believe in it.
Calvin was trying to see why do they
No.
want this kid?
I feel like if you're that passionate about it, you should just
They
do it.
well, I mean, they could if they wanted to, but
Just the
that's not
words,
the
though.
goal of the skit. And
Okay.
so then you're losing the goal and the appeal of the skit.
Okay.
And
So they want it to be filmed.
And like they have a decent concept for
Seems
it.
like a toxic thing.
And
See,
my whole thing is, like I said, if you're that passionate about it, then ask. Because had I not
that's weird.
had I not become a father and had I not gotten involved in my church, I would have done that. More than likely.
Dude,
but
like-
now I have to focus on what I'm putting out because
Yeah.
of who the eyes that
But
are on
I
me.
also feel like if you have to ask someone's approval, then you already know what the answer is. Like
Not
if I have
always.
to be like, "Hey, Calvin, is this racist?"
Not always.
That's
because
that's weird to me.
But it's as, and this is what I'm getting to. It is as racist for you to just assume it's gonna piss me off. Because the whole point of what racism is to be prejudiced towards a specific type of group with malice. And so for you to just automatically assume I'm gonna turn to hatred, automatically assume that it's gonna cause beef between us.
But I wouldn't assume that.
Yeah, you wouldn't. And you wouldn't come ask, though, because you're a little bit further. But if you're not educated on that specifically and on how that is going to, like, case in point, I knew each one of them there was a group of 3 of them. I knew all of them on different levels and for longer and different relationships. So had the one who I really don't know that well had asked me, it would have been different than the person who actually initiated the question.
Yeah.
And so it is a thing of, like, I knew in that moment that there's no malice. This isn't racism. They have an idea for a skit.
Yeah, I
they
guess
want
everyone's
to,
approach is
They
different.
also, to clarify, they also ran the idea by me first. I laughed when they said it to me, and I said, I don't think he's gonna do it, but if you want to ask him, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
and like I said, it's not a bad skit.
I don't know.
It literally, they just wanted to use the N-word.
As a writer,
And that was the only reason that...
as a writer of a script I haven't wrote yet, if I specifically wanted something to be portrayed in there,
I'm going to let you know right now.
I would just write it in there, and then I would see how you feel about it after.
That's what I'm saying. And I get that.
But that's, I guess, how
But
I am.
and this is where I'm usually at.
As a
With
future
Kurt-
writer.
with
Yeah.
any words of malice in general, because tongue's powerful. So with
Yeah.
any words of malice, if you are trying
I was about
to,
to rip something on here.
if you are trying to make me say quote unquote bad words, it depends on what.
Well, I'll tell you this now.
Because there are also going to be
because
times where you
this-
might not want
this
me
is
to
my
say it, but I
first
feel like
script.
it can need
This is
it.
my
So-
first script that I'm gonna write, as far as I remember. It's gonna be written from the perspective of what my language is. I'm not gonna try to I'm writing a story about Paris in 1940. Like I'm not doing that. It's gonna be my language, and I don't use that, so it's not gonna be. I'm not gonna write that
Yeah,
because that's
that's what I'm
not something that I
That's what I'm
use
saying.
or even.
But but there is it is a word that is
Butterball,
popular.
butterbean.
Yeah, because I feel like it's just like doing it. It's like you would want to do it. Just
Lard
to do
ass,
it,
lardo, big tubs.
But
because dude, I don't know, man. I just feel like
Shit.
yeah, I know. But
it's weird because it's even shit like I barely even say no cap because I didn't grow up. That wasn't slang that I used. Like
No
that came
cap.
from you guys. And the only way I've ever used it is because I hear you guys say it and I hear you say it enough where it just rubs off on me.
No cap, bro.
That's it. I
cap.
didn't grow up
We
with that.
rubbing off
grew
on you?
Yeah, you're rubbing off on me, dude.
So,
Do you remember that video?
So, but
shut the camera off.
But what I'm saying is, I grew up off like we used to say like a
Where'd your
bop
pants go?
or a brick. Like, yo, you want to go to the store? No, it's a brick. Like, meaning that's like too far. Or a bop. Like, oh, yo, we can go here, but it's a bop. Like, it's a distance. My slang was different when I was younger than what it is like
because
now.
it's also you didn't live in the same place.
I wanted to bring,
exactly.
dude. Yes, dude, and it changes, bro. And they add, dude. Remember when Glizzy was not a hot dog?
Glizzy used to be a blunt. What was
Glizzy,
it before?
Glizzy or Glizzy?
Glizzy used to be a Glock.
Oh, a Glock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's
Get hit with
and
a
now
Glizzy,
if you type in Glizzy, it's some dude gobbling down a hot dog.
Oh no, Blizzy was the blunt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blizzy. That's when you
yeah,
said it. I was
yeah,
like, Blizzy or Glizzy?
Yeah.
Remember that one video of the
The
dude?
Glizzy, the hot dog.
But
Yeah.
it is. Now it's a video of a dude stuffing it, and it's usually like a very like
The Giannis
sexualized
video?
picture on it.
Yo, you know what's
Giannis
funny?
videos that you're talking
I
about?
like
No,
how
I'm just saying, if you type in
every
Glizzy on
every
Google.
time he gave the visual demonstration, he cupped the nuts.
it's the what's the shit that what
The
do you call
nut
that
sack
tray
of it.
thing they give you?
The
tray
boat?
thing?
Oh, the boat.
boat.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
boat,
You
yeah.
know, it's always like a foot long hot dog. They got a double cup
Yeah.
like that.
So you're out here.
You know what's hilarious?
tickling
Bro,
the
look up
trays.
Glizzy
Shout-
right now.
shout
If he
out
has
to
a
the
TV
trays.
Shout out
if
to
someone
this-
would have brought the drill, we could have looked it up on the TV right now.
Yo, shout out to this artist, but that's a
Man's
huge
trying to-
flip because remember.
Man's trying to drill and look up Glizzy's. I need to get out of this
No,
room.
because look,
And we're
look.
rubbing off on Jason. I can't
If
take it.
Glizzy used to be a Glock and then it goes to a hot dog or like calling it a Glizzy. You know that artist named Shy Glizzy?
That's what I was
That's
thinking.
a huge flip of
Oh,
what's
yeah.
your name.
I
That's
know, so
interpreted.
but that was
That's
I had
insane.
I literally was
Shout out to
thinking.
What's have you
Yeah,
got?
Speaking
shy
of
hot
things
dog.
that you thought
Shout
about
out.
like a couple days ago or whatever, like
I'm a
that's
grower,
what
not
came
a
to my
shower.
mind. I was
But
like,
the thing about it
dude, they
is-
just changed words. Like
Yep.
you just change this thing, and eventually it kicks on where enough people use it like that, and all it is you get the kids.
But yo,
You get the
I'm
kids
not
to
gonna
say it
lie,
enough?
bro. I'm not gonna lie. If you set a hot dog down and you set a Glizzy down, it's a clear difference of which one's which. Like,
Wait, what are you talking about?
you can't get a hot dog and a Glizzy in the same pack.
Wait, what?
Like, you know it's different.
Wait, what?
Something, okay. If I okay. If I get a,
First of all,
if I make hot dogs, right?
when are you making these dogs?
I'm saying, if I make hot dogs
What would you?
and
though?
at the same pack, and I'm like,
You
this is a
actually
hot
make
dog.
hot dogs,
No,
bro.
I'm gonna tell you this. Listen, no, I don't make hot dogs.
Let me scoop you out,
Let me
okay?
scoop you out. Okay. Hold on. Just play this out. Okay,
That shit was
so I'm gonna give you two scenarios, right? In both scenarios, the constant is the hot dog, which is just a regular size hot dog in a bun, ketchup, that's fine, mustard, whatever you like.
Well, what are you considering?
Hold on. That's where we're getting there. Now, in the first
Talking
scenario,
about like
first
like
scenario, shut the fuck
Nathan's
up.
hot
Shut
dog?
the fuck
We
up.
talking
Shut the
about
fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Talking
It's
about
Asian. Shut the fuck
Oscar
up. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, so
Hold
we're
on. So you got your hot dog, and then next to the hot
What
dog,
brand is the
didn't
hot
have
dog?
it's about
Lunch
8
money hot
inches,
dog.
right?
Is it come with? It's a bun, right?
Y'all
In a
piss me
boat?
off. And the one next
It's
to
a
it,
Frank's.
the one next, okay, the bun is 8 inches, the hot dog's 8 inches,
Do I have
okay?
to tickle
The
in a
next
boat?
one,
Is it
yeah, it's in a boat.
Okay.
The bun is 8 inches, but the hot dog's 12 inches. Which one's the Glizzy? You tell me.
Is it in a boat?
It's in a boat. They're both in a boat. They're both in a boat in an 8-inch one, but one's 8 inches, one's 12. Which one's the Glizzy? If one's a hot dog and one's a Glizzy, which one are you calling the
How big is the
Glizzy?
boat?
Which one are you calling the
How big's the
Glizzy?
boat? How
Answer
big's
the
the
question.
boat?
How big is the boat?
But
On
depends
boat.
on
How
us.
big's the
Is the
boat?
boat 8 inches?
They're all everything's the
one
same
wetter than
except
the other?
one hot dog is 8 inches.
But what
and
if
one
one-
Glizzy's
So
12?
both
Which one?
boats are 8 inches.
Yes, both buns.
Oh,
are 8
okay, yeah, the
inches.
12 inch one's
12
the
inch
The
Glizzy.
Glizzy. Okay, now what if it's like you've seen the thick hot dogs, like the ones that have like cheese in the middle or something?
Yeah.
Which one's the Glizzy? Like the one that's thick as fuck inside there?
No,
or the
no, no.
regular-
That one's just they're
No.
both Glizzies, right?
Whichever
One just
one's
has the
oozing
extra
on your
sauce.
face
One's a
is more
glide.
Glizzy than the other.
No, because I feel like if you
It's
put
like
it,
the before and after,
look,
you know.
if it's okay, but if you take out the 12-inch one, the one left is now a Glizzy.
You want me to take out
But if
12
you put the
inches?
12-inch one on there, that's just a hot dog, and now that's a Glizzy. You know what I'm talking about?
What if it's
I mean, I
not in
guess
the
it makes
bun?
sense.
Is it still a Glizzy if it's not in the bun?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
Tough
so.
question.
Who's eating?
You're asking all the tough questions.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bratwurst. When does it become a bratwurst?
we need Stephen Hawking in here.
When does it become a bratwurst?
That just feels like that's
Yeah.
a dog at that point. Just a dog.
Dog.
I don't know.
Can I pet that
just,
dog?
I'll go back to say this. I remember watching the Tarantino interview when he made Django. Just to full circle this, and people were criticizing him for using the N-word in his script. Like,
Yeah,
they're like they counted like you wrote it this many times, and he's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm writing this story. So if I'm writing this story, this is what it needs to be. So from your friend's perspective, if it was me writing it and I was writing a story that this was the story and this is an active part of the story, I'm not going to ask anyone's permission because I'm telling the truth of this story. Now it depends on what story you're writing. Now if you feel like writing that story, write that story. But if you do it just to do it,
is not on the lines of
okay.
King.
No, I know. I'm just telling you this. I was watching this movie, right? It's actually a really good movie. It was called The Multiverse or some shit like that. And it was about these people who are like trying to like break through like the multiverse or whatever, and they end up doing it. I think it was them. No, it was another movie I watched. I don't even know. But there was a character in the movie that was
Some Glizzy going.
that was just as glizzy as you guys.
over there.
Just tickling boats.
Look, there was a character in the movie. There was a character in the movie. I'm not gonna say exactly what it was because I don't want to do that. But he was a side character, and the main character makes a reference about this side character's lifestyle. Let's say that had nothing to do with the plot, and like it didn't come back around. It didn't matter at all. But they specifically did this one thing to like make this character this kind of way, and I was like, you did that just to do that. Like you did that just to like push a agenda. You didn't do that because of the art. And that's when I don't respect it, because it's like you didn't really need to do that. You just did it because you were like, oh, like you could have not known anything about this side character and been fine because he was not important to the plot. It wasn't the multiverse. It was a different movie. And I was like, so that's the part where I feel like it's weird. Like if I'm like, oh, Calvin's black, so I can write in his script this. That's weird, because it's like, why would I do that? That's so weird. Write it as
Well,
a
because
truthful.
I feel like what you should. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you with the.
And it's like I can speak for black people when I say.
I think really
Speak
what
for
it
all
is.
people when I say.
I speak for the
Brother Eddie.
the people. I'm the kin.
Brother Eddie spilled the truth.
Yeah.
Remember
I
that
think
one?
really what it is that like when you write something, you write to whatever that person's character is. So like if you're writing about some racist fucker like enslaved people, then you write them as some racist fucker that enslaved people.
Facts.
If you're writing them as this person that's a humanitarian that's going in saving lives, and you write them as a humanitarian that's going in saving lives. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, like you're
Facts.
saying, right?
I agree.
You write the character. All right, now you got your characters. If this character is black and he's saying stuff that is society deems only appropriate that a black person says, like the N-word, right? Then you'd cast a black person, in my opinion, right? You wouldn't cast a white person for that role.
Yeah.
I used to do that. Used to cast white people as Asians.
You should have
Dude,
blackface.
facts.
That's crazy.
Did that? Isn't that the original blackface thing that this movie's about? Yeah.
Not wrong, I don't think.
Okay.
But that's how I feel.
I'm saying, in
about
case people didn't understand why. It was
But
weird.
Yeah.
while you were talking, it made
So I'm
me think
blocking
about,
anyway. So.
because I realized in what movie is that? The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. He has Chris Rock playing the caretaker.
There's a lot of good people in there. Joey
Yeah,
Diaz.
and
Joey
there's-
Diaz.
Oh,
is
That was
shit,
a
I
fire
forgot
movie.
Joey
Yeah.
Diaz.
Yeah.
Joey Diaz is in it. Terry Crews
Yeah.
also
movie.
in there.
Then they got what's that? The dude who played Gus Bus in Benchwarmers.
Oh yeah.
He's in
I don't know
the
his
he's in
name.
the bleachers.
Uh-huh.
Like group
Group
hug
hug
in the shower tonight.
tonight.
Yeah. Or not.
Because he's also, but you know, Adam Sandler brings all his friends
Yeah.
in each movie.
What were you
But
saying, though?
in The Longest Yard, I never really even processed. I've seen that movie a million times. Never really processed until the last time I watched it. That caretaker says nigga several times. And every time he says it, like, I started looking for it. Because the first time I heard it, I was like, okay. I didn't notice. And then heard it a couple more times. And I realized every time he says it, I was almost 85 to 90% positive that's just Chris Rock adding it to the script in the moment. Like, it didn't feel like it was written into his script. It was just him being like nigga, please. Like, and that's how I feel it should go at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because it's not a matter of
Feels
like
real.
even
Feels natural.
like and let's be real. Do we really think Leo had nigger on every single time he said it? There might have been time he fucking cut his hand open in the middle of a scene and kept acting.
That was lit.
You get into the character, and so in a situation like that, like I even remember
I like that.
when Jamie Foxx was talking about it, and he was like everybody was asking him how he felt about Leo as having. They're like, motherfucker, we're acting. He's not DiCaprio right now, and that's how it should be. Because it's also like and I'm growing up in a white town. I kept running into the situation where it was like somebody plays rap music, and the first thing I know is I'm not gonna give a fuck, but we're gonna have an awkward 10 minutes in this car. If this is the first time me and you have listened to rap music together, there's a good chance we're gonna have an awkward segment. It was an active. It's an active thought process that I had to go through because, like, genuinely,
you just gotta hit him with the got him, got him.
Because it's just like, and
you just have a sign. He said it,
and it happened. It happens so often where it'd be like, it's just, and the funniest part is, at least we'll say it might have happened 50 times. At least 35 was Mad City.
Oh yeah, that's a great
Genuine,
song.
at least 35
song, dude.
Yeah, and like every time it felt like it, they'd be like, nigga, and then instantly volume down.
He like looks at you.
Yeah, instantly
That's
volume
what
down.
you gotta.
I'm
You gotta
so
just
sorry,
have a
I
little
just
sign that says he said it with a little arrow, and you selfie with him.
No, we actually punch our black card, and every 10 you get a free. No,
You said it
Every good deed you do.
every time you let a white person slide.
That's hilarious, dude.
But yeah, no,
It
out of
says it in
jail
public,
free.
someone else comes to press and be like, no, look, show the card.
You gotta get out of jail
Show the card.
free.
It's like, oh, you got 10 stairs? All right. He takes the card.
Yeah,
You used it.
here's your next one.
You gotta get 10 more punches.
But
That's funny. That's a funny ass concept though. For like a short.
Bro, just to touch on something I said
that's
earlier.
how he writes it.
Yeah, that's my.
That's a story.
That's
right
actually what
there.
my script's about, guys.
Remember that video where there's that kid? He's like, they bully you in school, and the guy's like, he's
So
like,
it's a video of this
yeah.
dude. You'd know the dude if I showed you. He does these interviews and he talks like, oh no, he talks kind of like that the whole time. So he has this dude come on. It's this white dude, and he's like kind of tall and skinny. And he's like, oh, when you were growing up in school, like, did people bully you for your appearance? And he starts going into the story. He's like, yeah, he's a white dude. He's like, I went to school with all black people, and he's like, and like one time there was, and he's like, one time this guy didn't like me because his girl was feeling me, and then the interviewer goes like, no, hold on. He's like, I asked you if you got bullied for your appearance at school. I didn't ask you about this made up story about you fucking someone else's girl that didn't happen.
No, I was talking about the video where it's a little fat kid in school, and the guy's like, he's like, I've been bullied in school, and then he just starts ripping on all the comments, butterball, lard ass, and shit.
Yeah, the kid was like, oh, I got bullied on the playground, and he's like, oh, he calls you names. The kid's like, yeah, and he's like butterball, lard ass, double wide. Big time. It's like,
Are you just doing
Yeah, that's why I wanted to just clarify because I said that earlier. So I was like, lard ass, like he's ripping it. It's like, let's at least talk about that real quick.
I don't know.
I saw this one short on YouTube. It was I can't remember the comedian's name, but he was talking about bullying, and like he starts to joke off saying like, "Now I'm about to talk about the funniest thing ever on earth," and he says bullying, and then he's like says to the guy, "Now before you nerds get PTSD from high school," he's like, "I'm talking about friendship bullying. When you bully your friends, the only way that you know how to bully your friends, right?" Your friend, you can just tear apart your friend, and then like the second that you're done, you know that they're just gonna go right back in on you.
I'm gonna say this. I won't say what we were saying because it's so inappropriate, but it was me, Keita, Ryan, and Vicky in the car on the ride home. And the whole ride home, Ryan made a joke, and we just flamed him for the joke the rest of the ride home. And then he got home, and then he said a joke, and then as soon as he said a joke, everyone was like, whoa. It's too far. It was so funny because like everyone was just like ripping on him the whole ride home. And he says one joke, I was like, "Yo, chill, bro, calm down, dude." Which I think is so funny. It's such a gaslighting thing.
Right.
When someone tries to fight back, you're like, "Yo, dude, we're just joking."
There's some things that can happen that, like, there's no defense. Like if someone says, "Why you mad, bro?" You go, "I'm not." Like, dude, why are you mad? Like, no, like, yes, you are. Like, no, I'm not.
Why
and
you
then
acting
eventually,
like that?
you get to the point where you're like,
Be
"Stop!"
pissed.
Yeah,
Right.
right. So it's like, I'm like, how do you get out of it? There's really no way.
No.
It's up until the people,
Well,
like,
I feel
until
like
the joke leaves. 'Cause
you
it's-
You just can't get mad about it.
yeah.
Just let him keep
I wasn't mad
asking.
to begin with. It's like,
Yeah. But
there's
that's
no way to convince them.
I feel like you can kill it.
You're not trying to convince. That's
you
the
can
point.
kill it with talking enough, and that's the thing though, because you're slightly irked in the moment, and you're
Yeah.
trying not to be mad.
Yeah.
So you don't.
Then you don't
address
say
it,
anything,
like-
and then 5 minutes later, someone's gonna look at him seething with quiet resentment. I'm not even seething.
Yeah.
I have quiet resentment. I'm
I
not
wasn't
seething about
before
it.
now.
And the best, And then if you're quiet, and you hear the person breathe at all, you just be like, "Oh, dude, you're breathing so heavy." Like,
Yeah, no,
Like, bro,
listen,
dude,
I
it's fine,
found
it's fine. You'll
What,
be all right.
what I try to do is I try to just like circle back the second I think about it. The second I think I've been quiet and this is gonna be a thing, circle back and I was just like, yeah, that made me feel like this, but I'm really not sweating it. because then it just kills it right then and there. Because what are you now? If you bring it up, you're the one harping on it.
See, I usually wait till I cross the line, and then I realize that I crossed the line, and then I'm like, oh, that's where the line is. Then I take a step back. That's my style.
Toxic.
Yeah.
But
Well, okay. I actually thought about this.
My bad.
I thought about this. Okay, so this was like months
Need a
back.
soundboard.
This was months back.
We do.
And
And we need like a cough button.
uh-huh.
This was months back, and I got into I had a disagreement with somebody like in the family, right? And it's like we both had these two different opinions and we normally just get along. So it's like we disagreed on it, and I was just like, and it was like I could tell the person was a little bit annoyed with
Was
me.
it Ryan?
And
Was he seeing that quiet
no,
resentment?
no.
Sorry,
I was a little bit annoyed with this
quietly
person, and they
resenting
were a little bit annoyed.
With no seating.
It was Eddie. I was a little annoyed with this. No, I was a little annoyed with this person. They were a little
was
annoyed
me,
with me. And it was this moment. It was like this thing where we're like here, like we couldn't. No one could go farther or
That
backwards.
like that anime fuse.
Yeah, it was like right there. And then I realized this. I was like, when you in life, like naturally, like you have your own like you're your own like solar system. Like your soul is your sun, right? And then it goes out like you have rings and layers. And as you get closer to people, like things in your solar system and things in theirs clash. Like the planets hit each other. That a meteor from yours hits one of theirs because it's like two solar systems colliding. And then it does this thing where it goes back and forth, right? You push closer. It's like cactuses. The cactuses, you get close, you prick each other, and then you back up a little bit. But then you get closer and you prick each other, and you learn about that person. So it's not being toxic. Like the reason I'm saying it is like I crossed the line intentionally because that's like I will learn something about you, and you'll learn something about me by me crossing that line. And when I cross that line, I'll be like, that's where the line is. I'll respect that, and I'll back up. But now you know, and I know where that line is. Now, if I'm tripping, then I say, okay, well, I'm tripping. That was too far. I'll step back. But you might be tripping for having that line there in the first place. Because maybe your line is a growth moment where it's time for me to grow. Like, oh, I shouldn't be mad about that thing. Like, that why does that thing get me angry? You know what I mean?
You're right. Maybe I should go say the N-word in that video.
Yeah, and then, okay.
Well, it depends. Are you trying to put Leonardo
this is the
DiCaprio or are you trying to be...
this is the perspective, right? And actually, I got this now off of what you said. So, originally, I was just thinking I'm going to write the script. But I have everyone's parts already. So I was going to write to everyone's parts. But now my perspective is like, okay, I have everyone's parts. And I'm going to write the script to your parts. But then also when I give it to you, then you're essentially going to rewrite the script.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%.
That's the goal now. Because I didn't think about that.
I've never once actually read my lines. Like, I've been in church plays. I've been in, and for whatever reason, my brain just cannot, like... Once I figure out how I feel like this person
as long
would
as you
say
say
it,
what needs to be said.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you say
like,
it.
and once I figure out how I feel like this character would say it,
That's how I'm going to write it.
I can't
Goddamn,
go
bro.
back.
Yeah.
Like,
There was twice I was about to just rip, like, let one rip. Couldn't do it.
What, they're inappropriate?
Just like, yeah.
Just make the jokes and then we'll cut them out. If it's
Yeah,
too
but I
much.
don't really want to cut them out. Though.
Said I'm
going
right
to
now,
bloopers.
okay, this is the
Bloopers.
thing. This is the thing.
How many
I
chickens
mean,
they
yes,
count?
but Matt, if I can avoid it, I'm gonna avoid it. If one of y'all accidentally whatever, and I know I have to do it anyway, because at this point right now I don't cut anything out, so I know in my mind. I'm like subconsciously thinking about it.
I really just wanted
The
to...
minute that someone says something, doors open. Now I'm like, I gotta watch it, but you know what I mean, all the way through.
Versus just...
Should I
Versus
just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off then?
No,
Yeah.
we're already so deep. So I thought I'd let it fly.
please.
Calvin, you please.
But also, that's because I'm like,
Whoa.
whoa, damn, Eddie.
So late, delayed.
Damn, bro.
Like, obviously not concerned with it.
Am
Damn, yo. Like...
He's doing the editing. He's going.
Am I delayed?
He's gonna clip in that.
Cut out the delayed.
cut out the bleep. Clip in.
Would you rather be delayed or lagging?
I'd much rather be.
Much rather be lagging.
I'd rather be delayed,
Both
bro.
are bad.
I feel like how
Bro, imagine taking a flight, and it just gets delayed a little bit. Imagine taking a flight and you lag through it.
Rather be lagging.
Lagging is like tweaking though. Or
But
you're
how
just
mad?
sucking
But
up.
dude,
no.
but
because
when
think
you're
about
walking
it.
out
Yo,
the house,
if you watch a
lagging
game,
is a delay,
if you watch
though.
a game
It
on a
is.
minute behind,
I can
you're
do
not
that.
that mad that you're delayed on it. You just don't have to look at your phone. If you watch the game and you're lagging through it, you're pissed.
that's
Because the ball goes from here to here. This goes from here to here.
that's kind of what I was thinking because
Right?
at least with like if you're lagging, real time is still real time. If you're delayed, your time is real time.
Yeah, you still get the fluent
Yeah.
experience. You're just a
Yeah.
little behind. If you lag,
I guess
you don't
you'd be
get to
like-
watch.
I guess you're
You
right,
don't
'cause,
get to
like,
watch the
would it
pitch.
really-
You're never gonna see a baseball pitch. By the time the pitch gets across,
It'd be like this, right?
You'll
I
miss the
think you're
count.
right because like if all of a sudden, like, all of us just, like, fast forward 20 seconds into the future and had no idea what happened in those 20 seconds, we'd all be confused as hell.
Yeah.
I have no idea, like, what's going on. That was happening consistently.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to...
We're trying to have a conversation, and you hear every other...
See,
there's a Futurama episode just like
is-
that. You know what I'm talking about?
Is there?
Where, like, the time just keeps skipping throughout... Like,
You gotta
yeah.
find the episode and drop it tomorrow.
The chronotons.
You gotta drop the episode name tomorrow.
Okay,
That
word.
people can peep it.
Heard. But
I'll just go into the comment section, just say, like, check out episode of Futurama. But I think it was basically, like, what happened was they were just, like, blipping through different spots of time, and they couldn't remember it because they were, like, some of them were outside of this, like, little protection bubble or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
I think I might have seen that, because I never watched Futurama, like, start to finish, like, even as a kid, I never watched Avatar start to finish. Up until Jason and I watched it like 2 months before the Avatar fad came back during COVID. So we had watched it 2 months prior. So I was like, and I was pissed not pissed because I bought it, but we bought it, and then all of a sudden it's on Netflix. Like,
that's what happened.
That's what I said about Legend of Korra.
You just said that like
That's
yesterday or the day
geek as hell.
before.
Legend of Korra, same thing happened to me.
Yeah. I forgot my train of thought.
Like 2 weeks later, Legend of Korra comes on
we were
Netflix.
Talking about how on Futurama.
Oh yeah. So in that time, I've seen Futurama episodes because it was on TV, but I never watched it like through. You know what I mean?
I've watched it through several.
Yeah, I've
times
watched
at
it
this
through.
point. Several
Futurama
times.
Bro, I
so
saw
good.
an old video clip of it was like a parade, and you know what Rick Rolling is?
Yeah, when you put like the never gonna give you
Yeah,
up.
okay. So
That was one of the original memes.
Yeah,
fun
so
fact.
you're only that's like one of the exactly. So it was Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. It's like a Cartoon Network float going through. And then they Rick roll to the parade because he pulls up and he starts singing the song. And I was like,
The real
bro,
Rick roll?
I was like, yo, what time was this where you got a Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends float and you got fucking Rick roll pulling up? Bro,
It was in like 2008.
It was so early.
Earlier than that, I
Crazy,
feel
man.
like.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know how many
Maybe,
seasons
yeah.
did Foster's Home actually
Probably
go
like
for?
1 or 2, my
I
guess.
think they
It
got
wasn't
like
that
3.
much. Yeah, it wasn't.
I
That
feel like
much.
I watched so much
If
of it.
somebody
but I'm
had
sure
brought
we saw
the drill, we
reruns.
could look it up.
Sorry, what?
Sure,
Somebody
yeah.
brought the drill, we could look it up.
Yeah, I know. For
Well, we
real.
could still look it
Crazy.
up.
It's crazy. Don't even get me started. It's like...
Oh, some cavemen over here.
Yeah.
My
that's
phone's
easy.
recording, so
Yeah, my phone's right here.
Is it though?
keep those racist comments
Is
to
it though?
yourself.
Is it though?
It is.
Oh yeah, we don't know.
I think so.
Probably not.
He's gonna check. He doesn't check in the beginning. Doesn't check in the beginning when we first say it.
I'm never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you down. We gotta clip that in right
Yeah,
there.
that's hilarious, bro. He didn't say it. He didn't check
when we first
started.
yeah.
Just checked at the
I
end.
trusted
Wow,
myself.
okay.
First
Honestly,
time was for
How
me.
many
Second
seasons
time
do you
was for
think
y'all.
It went.
Can you tell me how many episodes are in each season? Can we get that fact?
Yeah, I can
Because
do
that fact will
That's a good
determine
question.
how many.
Good question. I can
Because
do
if you
that.
got a Simpsons versus a South Park has some long ones,
So,
but
it looks like.
like Rick and Morty's only like what 10, 12.
Yeah, it's about 12.
10? 12? Is it
About
10?
12. I think it
You
went.
watched the new season yet?
No, I haven't watched the new Imaginary Friends season.
Rick and Morty is getting old now.
Looks like about 13.
13.
13 episodes?
Okay.
Fox
season.
News
Oh, I was thinking 13 seasons. 4 seasons.
Yeah, I was gonna go 4.
4.
I'm also gonna say it dropped 04.
That is a good hotel.
I'm thinking 4 seasons dropped 2004.
You want to give
That's
a
my
when it
final
dropped
guess.
answer?
I'm gonna go. It's gonna when it drops.
Yeah. So you
I'm going 2003.
okay.
It's going to 3, 4 seasons.
4 seasons, 2004, 2003.
2005, 3 seasons.
2005,
3
3
seasons.
seasons. So the answer, drum roll, please.
2 seasons.
6 seasons. 6 seasons.
What?
2004.
04.
2004, 2010. So there's some good amount of episodes. So you didn't. Yeah.
6 feels about right. I thought there were more episodes per season, which is what I was kind
that's
of thinking
pretty
for.
good. That's honestly longer than.
Then I
What was
thought-
that one
Makes sense, though.
cartoon that was like all the animal middle school carrying elementary school kids? It was like the human kid that went there.
Oh man, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
It's on Cartoon Network.
And it was like
this kid and my best friend's a monkey. Yep.
My best friend's a monkey.
Yep.
Because I was getting there. What
did you just call him?
That's what you go back and clip in.
You double it up. You just rewind it and hit play. Lag it,
So
slag it a bit.
funny.
Delay.
Oh shit.
But
Yeah,
I want the zoom in of that.
I got
headphones just on the middle, in the middle of your head. Like what?
Hola, I am.
Retarded.
Someone's delayed. Someone's delayed.
Whoa! Now we gotta cut out.
No, we don't.
Now we gotta cut
It's
out.
not that bad.
Cancel.
You use the R word.
So what?
I love people.
People use it for years. Like, that's your defense for every word.
People used it for hundreds of years before this.
I got.
Yeah,
I
why-
got
when'd
to
you
my
get so
best friend's a
sensitive?
monkey because of Camp Laszlo.
Camp
I went Camp Laszlo
yeah.
first.
That's where my mind
And I
went
was like,
first too.
What comes after? What
You
used
want
to
me
come
to
on
mark
after
it?
Camp Laszlo?
My best friend's a
Shit.
monkey.
I'd laugh at
bro.
my joke before I could say it.
That was such a great
What was
show.
the point of that besides you saying racist shit?
Camp Crack Rock was
Oh
was
yeah,
it?
Camp Crack Rock.
Remember that one?
Mm-mm.
Camp Rock.
Camp Rock.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like can't crack.
I thought it was like a spoof
Yeah, you
of
know
Camp
Camp
Rock.
Rock.
Y'all remember that?
No,
We
that would have been hilarious.
No, because didn't they all end up doing crack?
Yeah, that was
Or it
probably
was just Demi Lovato.
That was kind of. I don't know if anyone of them did.
Are you allowed to
crack.
say that? I feel like you should be allowed to say it if
Probably.
it's true.
What,
Well, I don't know.
I don't think
I don't know if they did.
I'm pretty sure she did it and she admitted it.
I
So
thought
I
that
think
was-
you can say it.
Demi Lovato?
Yeah, didn't she do crack?
Maybe.
That's why they called it Crack Rock.
I know she like had. To,
I'm pretty
like,
sure
stop.
School of Rock came out way
I'm dead,
after
dude.
that.
I'm pretty sure they were high
She
when
had,
they
like,
made it.
she had an addiction problem that she had to stop doing the filming for it.
So she was definitely addicted.
During Camp Rock.
During Crack
During
Rock.
Camp Rock.
How
yeah.
old was she during Camp Rock?
Probably like 16 or 17.
That doesn't matter. They're all Disney people, dude. Those
I mean,
people are
yeah,
all
but-
fucking
Those are people.
crazy.
Still though, that's crazy.
There are
Shout
only
out to
so
Disney.
many. Yeah, there's only so many Disney stars that really made it out.
Who made it out? Ariana Grande.
Sprouse Brothers,
Yeah, Sprouse.
Dylan and Cole.
Yeah. They
True.
seem like
They made it out, but their parents are very adamant about them making out. Like they're
them making out.
huge. I said
I knew there was
it.
something fishy about it.
Yeah.
But-
They weren't really brothers.
Seriously, a huge shout out. Huge shout out to
They
the
look
Sprouse
alike,
parents.
right?
Because like when you go and look at like the way they handled their contracts, the way they like all of it, they made sure that those boys were going to have the capability to choose their life
Nice.
as opposed to being stuck in that cycle.
That's what's
Let's
So
just
that was
count.
huge.
Let's should we
That's
count
two.
out
We got
who,
two.
who didn't make
Or
it.
three.
No, that's a
we'll
way
be here all
longer
day.
list. Disney.
My favorite who didn't
Unfortunately,
make it is
well, do we say Shia LaBeouf?
Everybody
made it or
hates
no?
Chris.
I say he made it, but he.
What's his name?
Yeah, I say he made it because he's like he has his own battles or
remember his
whatever, the
actual
public
name.
battles. But then he's in a place now. I think people are like, oh yeah, he's like
Does anybody know his name? What's his name?
The actor who played Chris and everybody.
Oh
Has
yeah,
it.
he made it out.
Oh,
He's in
what
movies
was
today.
that?
I've seen him in movies.
But to be fair, he started with Everybody Hates Chris.
He was a
if
bit
I'm not
older.
mistaken. And
He was
then
still a kid, though.
He was.
He was
I mean,
probably
yeah,
young
but
kid.
but it was after Everybody Hates Chris finished. Then he did some stuff with Disney.
Oh really?
So
Yeah.
do you?
Oh wait,
by,
everybody
because
hates
think about
Chris wasn't Disney.
by saying make it out, are you saying they just didn't go crazy after they stopped doing their Disney career? do
They
you
had.
mean, like-
They
Or like
kept
right
their
now
career
they're fine.
successful.
Right now
they
they're
kept their
fine.
career intact. Like they kept themselves intact. Career
Yeah, like
wise.
Other than Miley Cyrus doing the twerk thing, I think she's pretty solid. I think that was the one moment that everyone's like, ugh.
The thing about it is how many people like. The thing about it is that how
Am I
many.
alone on that?
Not only
Who played Corey in the Corey and the
I
house?
like, for the record, I like Miley Cyrus.
My only-
If you've seen her Joe Rogan, I think it's a really cool one.
fact.
For the record.
True. My
Just saying.
only
At
argument.
that moment, I feel like everyone was like, "Oh."
My only argument would just be for that would just be how many people were influenced by like Hannah Montana for her to flip it like that. So now you got all these girls who have been influenced by this girl for so long, and now she
This is
goes
the
like
thing.
that.
This is my Hannah.
That's my
Montana
only.
thing.
Be like,
Miley Cyrus obviously has an amazing voice, and she has she has legends as her family, like legends, especially in country, right? Because she got Dolly Parton and she got what's his name?
Billy Ray.
Yeah, exactly. And I as a kid, I grew up listening to him because my mom played him all the time. So he's a legend, certified, right? She has a great voice, and I don't think it's wrong because you could say the MGK thing where they do the genre hop for a second, but MGK's she's doing like a different genre for a while. But Miley Cyrus did like the genre hop, did like the hip hop, like I'm in the club with my J's on, Ted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then went back to doing other stuff. And I think her music's actually pretty dope.
Have
But
you
then
heard
it's like
her
you
sing?
can look at it like, did you do that because intention is important for me as an
Yeah.
artist. Did you do that because you really wanted to do it, or because it was like, this is how we get
her,
you back?
Her voice is
Amazing.
catered to rock.
Yeah.
Have you heard her her covers of rock songs?
What's that one song?
Her
she
voice
did?
is gorgeous when she's like actually just like bellowing.
Yeah,
Like,
she has a great
oh
voice.
man. Yeah.
There's a song. There's a cover song she did that I thought it was the original until like halfway through the song. And I was like, nah, that's not the original, but it was her. I forget what it's called, but it's great.
I think that's a good point though. Intention. Intention is a big.
Yeah, like if you intend, because I feel like for me, if you
Like, was it
go through
intended for you, or did you intend to do it?
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? And if it was intended for you, by who and for what reason? Was it from
Was Kiki Palmer
the
Nickelodeon?
universe or?
I don't actually know who that is.
You don't know
Nah.
Kiki
I know the
Palmer?
name, but I don't have the
She
face
was in.
my
What
mind.
was that? What was she in?
Several different things.
I know. I know. You know.
She was in.
You've seen her before. Probably.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I don't remember what her show was called, but
That's So Raven.
no.
Was it? Maybe it was just her name.
Raven
Wasn't it?
Simone.
Oh, her right name's actually Raven. That's lit. True to the soil.
I think it might have been because it
Isn't
was
the
just
what-
like that sort.
Isn't that? There's that one dude who was
'Cause
on
I
That
know
So
he's in Let
Raven.
It Shine.
Oh, Orlando Brown.
yeah,
Orlando Brown.
He just be saying random like wild shit.
He
on
talks about the inside.
Yeah, he
shit,
does.
dude. That's why I say he's my favorite. That went unwinded.
Orlando Brown.
He said a
I
lot
know
of
who
wild
you're
shit.
Yes,
talking
though,
about,
yes.
'cause he was also in Jump to It, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kiki
Who?
Palmer, bro. She is in a lot of different stuff. She's
Can I see a
actually
picture?
making a bit of a. I don't know.
Can we pull it up?
Comeback's the right word. She just had a baby.
Oh, I wish. It's only if we got like a TV and like
It's
a
right
mounted,
there, what are
or
you
a
That
talking
mounted
TV
about?
something.
is so big, dude. I almost feel like we need to actually build like a physical stand and mount it, but then have something under its legs too, or underneath it, because it's gonna be so heavy.
Well, the stand's gonna be off of it once it's.
Oh,
Yeah, her.
We can discuss.
you should go through her discography then. I'm not gonna look around here. The WMD or whatever. Yeah, I don't know what she's from. I don't really recognize her that much, just enough to.
She was on some Disney shit.
I don't know. What were we talking about? Miley Cyrus.
What are we talking about?
Talking about Hunger Strike 2024.
So,
You down for it?
She's
I was
in-
actually thinking about eating it. When I go back to smoke, I
No.
never finished.
Well, I
When
don't
Joaquin
even eat 'em.
Phoenix did the Joker, I think it was Joaquin Phoenix did the Joker. He said he ate an apple a day and just smoked as many cigarettes as he wanted. So when I go back to smoking, I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I smoke my herbs and shit. I was thinking about that. I was like, if I eat an apple a day, like for a month, like just to see,
Kevin James did 41 days in a row. He said
with no eating.
just water.
That's the really
And
big
he
guy
lost
though.
like 60 pounds.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't do that though.
But yeah, you're not fat enough.
I don't have the reserves.
Gotta
Eat some more food,
Go eat
lard
Go
ass.
McDonald's. Go take the Super
But that is
Size Me
crazy.
challenge first.
You know what's
Yeah,
funny though?
having-
This is the weird thing. Whenever I like.
So
So I'm not the best at stocking up food. A lot of times I go to Kroger. I mean, I kind of like it. I go to Kroger that day. I pick what I'm gonna eat that day, maybe the next day, and I buy it and then I take it home and then I cook or whatever. But today I have already made 3 sandwiches, 3 long, 12-inch glizzies, not glizzies, but sandwiches. And
You got
now,
the box. You got
and
the
the-
boat.
and then I think that I have no boat.
Oh, it's not Glizzy then.
And so, but now that my thought crossed my mind earlier today, I was like, oh, should I go on should I eat an apple a day, like going a little fast? And I was like, nah, but I have 3 big ass sandwiches. Like now I can't, cause I'm not gonna throw this away. You know what I mean? So I feel like every time I get to like I have enough is when I'm like, oh, I should have less. And then when I have less, I'm like, oh shit, I need more. So it's always that thing. So I feel like my mentality just needs to be like, literally just stop trying to reach.
Just need a meal prep.
Do it there.
If you just write it out, then you already know what you'll need. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what you have.
I think about that I don't like is when I do that, when I get to the day that's like you're supposed to eat this that day, I don't want to eat that.
That's
So
why-
I like to just do it that day
Well, you do.
or the next day.
And so you write out, and this is I was gonna give credit, but I don't remember who actually came, like where I got it from. But what you do is you write out how much you want to eat for the day. Don't write out what you want to eat, because if you get too specific, especially with meal plans, because the thing about meal plans is like a diet nor a meal plan are gonna work alone. Neither of them will.
I think I'm gonna do a week.
At the end of the day, it's the consistency of utilizing your input versus output. That's why diets work, because it recommends increase your output, lower input. and then you're
I
gonna
have been
see
increasing my output.
a
I've
negative.
been working out
Yeah.
pretty much every day
and then
and playing.
Still not working out. Whose fault is that?
Mr. Diet Plan over here.
No, I'm just kidding. I literally ran for like
I don't count
30
work
hours.
though.
Right?
All work did is make my legs really strong, but since I don't stretch, I'm not like loose. Like my muscles are dense, but they're tight. And I realized that I just need to stretch more because my muscles are too tight on my leg.
I need some
You get stretched out, yeah.
some glizzy in your life.
No.
And
The only time I ever eat a glizzy is at a baseball game.
Cap.
that's what you do.
Actually, for the most part, but
I was thinking about
the only time I eat a
came
glizzy
here,
and not feel bad about it. That's it. And not
was-
feel bad about it. When I'm at a baseball game, dude, I will smash a hot dog.
I kind of do want a Costco glizzy. If you ask me.
Oh, dude, I did eat a Costco. Dude, the thing is, they're $1, dude.
Dude, I've been thinking about
Get a
it.
Such a
Coxo
great
glizzy.
deal.
I've
Yeah,
honestly
Costco glizzy,
the past 3 times I've been there, I've thought about getting one, and I convinced myself not to get one.
Bro, I think it's
Pizza,
$1.
pizza.
It's $1.50
For that and the
for a
drink.
soda, but I don't like any of the soda there. It's all
Their
shit.
Sundays
They took
are
away.
gas.
They took away mug.
Sundays are-
Dude, you know what's
Powerade
worse?
there.
They have mug
What'd you say?
Yeah,
like
Powerade.
as an option,
No,
but
not-
when you go to the
They
fountain,
don't?
there's no
No.
mug. I'm
Oh.
like,
They have,
bro,
they have lemonade.
come
If
on.
it was Powerade, I'd be killing it. I like Powerade.
We have Powerade now.
I wish I had Powerade.
Over orange soda. Took out orange soda. Got
Nice.
Powerade.
Orange soda
Yeah,
never.
Powerade.
I don't know what.
What is that?
I thought you already had Powerade.
Blue
Maybe
Powerade.
tripping.
No, we had it.
Dude, I would be.
Spencer
killing it,
actually
bro.
convinced him to get it.
Mm.
It was after you guys.
So let me ask you guys something. Calvin, don't tell him the answer. Do you guys know what foot sec means?
What is it?
Foot sec?
Foot sec.
Foot sec.
Is it a different language?
It is a different language.
What language?
South African.
Foot sec.
I don't speak that.
Take a
I
guess.
mean, it's still
Calvin, what does that mean?
it's still foot sec.
Get it? Because he's black.
It's foot sec.
I didn't get it.
Calvin, is he allowed to say
So
that?
think in this context. Think in this context, because we were given this hint as well, right? You know what?
Foot sack.
You know what, Ryan? Foot sec.
Foot sec.
Is it fuck off?
Foot sec.
Get out. Fuck off.
Yeah?
Pretty
Get
much.
out. That means get out of here.
Like, just,
You seen that
like,
movie?
leave my presence right now.
That's all I'm gonna
I
say about
wish-
that.
I wish I had like a photographic memory in that moment, because all I wanted to do in that moment, I just couldn't remember where we went after that, but I was gonna just pick right back up to that part, and if we could sell that on a podcast one day where we just like jump 20 minutes back,
Oh, and you just be
Especially-
talking about what you're
and,
talking
we
about?
just like hash the exact
Delay
same yeah, especially after having that would have been a fire
That'd be
moment.
funny, yo.
That
I
would
talk
have
about
been
the
a fire moment.
lagging.
Eddie's just here. I don't know, bro. I definitely would rather be delayed than lagging.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I don't know.
Would you rather be lagging or lacking?
In a way, though,
I'm none of this.
I would
I'm
never.
not-
You
I'm
would
always
never
on point.
see me.
In a way,
lagging or
though.
lagging.
Just kidding.
delayed versus lacking, or lagging, I feel is kind of
Seems like you're lagging a bit.
This
which
is the thing.
lacking in this conversation.
delayed
The
versus
conversation
lagging
is
feels like
Dude.
a question of drugs. Is where I was gonna go with that. Like uppers and downers.
Wait, what?
I said like
Eddie's mic is.
Going on down there.
This is what I'm gonna say, right?
going on and downer.
In my
Trying to grab
opinion,
my glizzy.
in
Eat
my
a
opinion-
glizzy if you want. Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
in
Don't
my
be
opinion,
there.
this is how I feel, right? In reality, right? When you're not supposed to do this. Or
It's
say
okay to eat a glizzy if no one's watching.
All the words,
As long as you lick it first.
words don't mean shit, right? They don't mean anything. What you're saying.
So why am I listening to you talk?
Because it's what I'm saying underneath the words. Because if I spoke French, but I was saying the same thing, what you're understanding is the point, right? Like what I'm transmitting and whatever you pick up. That's the point of conversation. Words don't mean anything. So I said a word earlier that Eddie's like, whoa, but just using a different word.
Or is it?
but using a
not
different
so
word-
big and bad now.
using a different word as a
That's okay.
filler and making that like, oh, that's okay. That's just that's stupid. It's like you're not actually like dude, like if you were like, let's say like it's like the word a-hole, because that's a word that no one's like, you can't say it. You know what I mean? Like no one's tweaking out about it. But like a-hole, and then let's say they take that away. I'll say it because for Amber, and I realized this myself. I didn't realize it after the fact. I'll call her when she does something like whatever. I'll call her silly butt. But silly is another word of saying dumb. Like, oh, that was dumb. That was silly. Like, you don't call a kid dumb. You're like, that was silly. Like, wasn't that silly? And she'd be like, yeah, that was silly.
I constantly call my kid dumb.
And then butt is just a replacement for ass. So every time I call her silly butt, I realize this later I'm calling her a dumbass. But I'm not calling her a dumbass. I'm calling her a silly butt because silly butt doesn't offend people. But in reality, you're saying the same thing. So all you do is, I can just change a few words, and now whatever I'm saying doesn't offend people. But the sentiment is the same.
We talked about this before. It's like literally at the conference we went to, the dude running the conference, like we had a competition at the end. It was basically like to put it in a way, it was pretty much like a hacky sack competition at the end for somewhat. But so like you were with your group that like you went through the whole conference with, and your group faced off against other groups to see who could keep it up for longer, right? Well, the first
a lot of hack sacking going on.
The first group that went
that was so gross. I apologize for his behavior.
The first group that went was all.
I apologize for his behavior.
I'm listening. Fuck them. I'm listening.
The first group that went was all older women, right? So they get up there, and he was the South African guy that taught us foot sack to begin with, right? And so they get up there, and one of them goes, "All right, bitches, let's get it." And he starts dying laughing. He's like, "Can I say this? Can I say this too? Can I say? Okay, bitches." And like for the rest of the meeting, kept like, "All right, bitches. All right, bitches. All right, bitches."
See, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Bitch is a trigger word for me.
And was just like, running with it.
I was
but it's all context, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's all context.
But that's the thing, because bitch is like...
Because now that I know that bothers you this badly, every time I see you, it's going to be, "Sup, bitch?"
No, because I'm going to have to press
every single time. Every single time. Up until the point where you get so sick of pressing me that it's not a trigger word.
See, but that's the point, right? But I recognize that, right? When I was at work, I work with... One of the main people I work with, is actually the only person I ever work with, is gay. And we get along like we're perfect, bread and butter. But so we were
right.
we were talking. You know what I mean? Glizzy and dogs.
Sounds like a lot of butter.
Are you the Glizzy or
getting spread?
Who's the bun?
I'm the Glizzy.
Might get some diabetes over there.
That doesn't even make sense. Yeah. That doesn't make sense. All right, so we were working together, and he will like call people's names loosely, and so he'll say like whatever, and then the one time he was like, he called me a bitch, and I looked at him, I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm not a bitch." I was like, "You call me whatever you call me, but I'm not a bitch." Like that's like the word where it's like, because to me that's like, I don't know, that's like that's a trigger word. Where it's like, yo, it's like,
"Shut up, bitch."
It's like you're trying to be above me. Like, nah, bro, like I'm gonna have to press you.
See, but like. See, and that's
but what I'm saying, I'm not saying that's right.
That's what I was thinking about, like asshole and the weird ass to begin with, right?
Yeah.
It's a donkey.
But that doesn't trigger me at all. That's the thing.
It's a donkey.
You call me I don't want to say the C word on here because I feel like if it's kids watching, but you call me the C word, I would just go right over my head. I don't give a fuck.
But every curse word is a word that has a meaning that has been changed.
Yeah.
And so when you really think about it, though, that's most of it. Like literally has a definition now. That is the metaphorical, literally, meaning subjective. When you look up the definition of literally, it says something that is as it is, the way it is, in a moment. Then the second definition is the literally. Premising something that is not literal. That is now a definition for the word literally.
So okay, point being, this is why I think it triggers me, right? Because underneath it all, like if you say asshole, like you're just calling someone like a dick, like but it's like the same
very different things.
But to me, it's the same.
If you think those are the same things that are interchangeable, maybe you should stop working.
One can go in the other.
No, but the sentiment is it's like, oh, you're being like kind of mean or brash, right? If you call someone an a-hole,
and he's lagging hard.
Not lagging, delayed. Delayed.
That was
You're
delayed.
So responding.
Now, if you had once your servers catch up, what's your ping at? You guys are pinging at 300 right now.
That must be that Swiss light.
Well, I got the 3DS in my Switch Lite. I'm gonna trade it in for the next console.
The sentiment for that word, like the D word or an a-hole, is like you're being mean or brash. Yeah. And I don't have a problem being called mean or brash, right? But if you say it's like a bitch is like you're now putting me beneath you, and that's where I have a problem with. I don't like when people put me down.
I'm on like the flip side of that. If you intelligently insult me, now we have a problem. But if you're just calling me a curse word, if you're just saying,
okay.
like, if you walk up and you're just like, you stupid
But it's the
bleep,
way you
you
say
dumb
it.
bleep,
It's the
you
way you
mother
say it.
bleep and bleep.
Because
Like,
even
if
you say, what's up, bitch, that's, to me, that's, like, disrespectful. But if you say, like, if you're like, bitch, what? That's, like, that's not disrespectful. Because the way you said it. But if you say, like, yo, what's up, bitch? Like, that's, like, it's like, nah, bro. Like, because I remember when I used to go visit Ryan's college people. And they would, I was younger. And they would come up to me and they'd be like, yo, what's up, bitch? And I'd look at them and be like, nah, bro. That's not me. I'd be like, you got the wrong person. And then they'd be like taken back because I know from their perspective, they're just like, that's the lingo they use. But it's like, that's not the lingo I use. And you have to, like, the way I understand it is like, you have to understand that everyone has a different set of principles. And even if you don't abide by them in their company, you have to respect it. Like, if I'm in another room, I'll do whatever I want. But in everyone's presence, I'm going to respect what your lines are because it's like, why would I not? Like, why would you go around and be like, oh, I'm going to say this word? Like, I don't think it's whatever, like the B word, somebody else would be like, oh, that's not offensive. You can say, call it whatever you want, like whatever you live, that's cool. But I don't want to be called that because it's like, to me, that's disrespectful. But that's also, just what it is.
I feel like the body language goes into it also.
Yeah. Body language.
Because if I come at you and I point at you, it's like, sup, bitch. I feel like that's different than me just chilling back over here.
my
like,
instant result,
like,
me response
dunking
to that, it would be like, what's up? To equally disrespect. That would be what I would say, to equally disrespect.
But if I'm just chilling, right?
And he's like, do I slam dunk bitch you or do I hit a 3 long shot bitch you?
I'm chilling. I might have like.
Do I go and reach you or do I
say it? So y'all come into the room, it's like, sup, bitches.
I'd be like, I would literally just say like, you're gay.
There's a difference. But you would agree that there's a difference in how I delivered that, right?
Yeah, 1,000%.
And so the difference how I deliver it gives a different
Let's
meaning.
bring the word back. It's intention.
Yeah.
What did you intend to say? What is the message you're trying to deliver?
See, but intention
and what words did you use? And then bring it back to the podcast. When we're outside, off the microphone versus on the microphone, how do you say what you're trying to say outside but deliver it on the way so that the microphone so it doesn't ping the red flags of the internet or the people?
And also, this is another example.
I don't want to edit anymore.
When I'm talking to Keita,
no, I'm just saying.
When I'm talking to Keita, like, we make jokes. I'll be like we'll play the word game and she'll beat me up, be like, this bitch, like, and that's like, and she doesn't offend her because it's like we have a different understanding. But when I was with her mom and I was like saying something, I made a joke and like where she had me go here and here and here, and I was already there and I had to go back, and I was like, and I literally just let it slip. I just said some context of saying the B word, and like her mom and her sister just like looked at me for a second, like that was disrespectful. But I was like, okay, like, even though like in our basic language, like that's just, there's no disrespect at all, and it's all love. Outside, they have a different feeling about it, and then I'm like, okay, I can't do the same thing around everyone else.
You don't want to ping the wrong flag because they're going to stop listening to you and turn you, and then you don't get to. And then they're going to clip it, and then.
Because I've posed this on a podcast before, but when it, like, the importance of reception versus intention. Because if your intentions are A, but everybody's receiving B, you might do more damage to what you're trying to do than you are good. It's like when they dropped rice on a fuck ton of rice farmers. The intention was there.
Wait, what'd they do?
When and this is years back. I don't remember where it was.
This is years back.
I don't remember where it was. But,
back when Glizzies weren't Glizzy.
I think Haiti.
Back when Glizzy used to go pew pew.
That's right.
Not
Glizzy's,
you.
Glizzy's still go.
You ever seen that video? You ever seen that dude in the video at like at the barbecue or the cookout, and he like he's like in the middle. He's got the glizzy like this, and he's looking around, and no one sees him, and he go like this, and he eats it, and he looks up, and someone's got him sniped. He's so trying so hard not to get sniped.
But I think it was in Haiti, but we dropped the American government to support some third world country, I believe Haiti, dropped a whole bunch of rice, like pounds and pounds of rice. It was when that whole like donate rice.
Was it in bags or did they just like sky drop it? Just, like,
was it after the earthquake?
No, it was in like it was rice rations.
Was this after the earthquake?
I think possibly. But do you guys not remember the like rice drive? It was
I remember,
give rice.
I remember
and you
when
donate
they
to give
were
rice.
asking for money, and we used to get $5 allowance. And actually at the time, okay, so I donated my money. Like we got the $5, and I was like, oh, Mom, can you give this and you can give it to them? Just being a kid. Now I think like when I'm older, I actually my stance on it now would be like they didn't get that money didn't get to Haiti, like that went somewhere else. But Ryan wouldn't donate his $5. And my mom got so mad at him. Like she's like there's these kids who are in need, and Ryan's like, well, it's my $5. And I was like,
Greedy,
dude,
man.
and I was like,
Mad
dude, you're a
message.
dick. But like, and you definitely didn't do it for the right reason. But
You don't know that?
I know
See,
that.
but, and that is intention versus reception, and that's what
That's an
that's why I
idiot.
brought this up though, because they dropped all this rice, because rice is such a big part of their economy. But the issue is rice is such a big part of their economy, so they put a ridiculous amount of rice farmers into struggle financially, into closing down their farms, and to losing their property
That was probably why they did it.
because they over.
CIA shit.
And so
Then they buy the
intention
farm and
versus
run with
reception.
Infiltrate.
Our
and
reception,
destabilize.
our reception in America is hell yeah.
Infiltrate the
deal.
dealer, find the supply.
But
so, okay, my
I do-
question is now though, when I think about that, why is I mean I already know the answer, but why is America so fucking like, oh my god, the world needs help? But there's actual places in America that also need help, but everyone's like, nah. Like, why don't we
Because
fucking
their
supply drop
par-
them, dude?
their poverty doesn't help our economy. Our poverty helps our economy. We need poverty in order to have the social economic realm
What a
we live in.
shame.
I just wish if you have to pay taxes, you could choose where they go.
Yeah.
Where you could like you had
Which
the
is
app.
2018.
Like J. Cole said, you had the app. And you can,
Let
Yeah.
me
I feel
pay
like
the
there's
things I'm
also,
funding
like,
from the
I feel like
app
you're
on my
definitely
screen
right.
rather
Yeah.
that than some.
I think you're definitely right when it comes to like when
Rat
you need
conversation
poverty,
I've
right?
never seen.
But also, I feel like it's like a nuisance, like a face card type of thing, because like whatever your first impression of something usually sticks,
Mhm.
right? 80% of the time, unless like
80% of the time, it
multiple
works
times.
every time.
Right?
It's actually 60, but
60%
yeah.
But like through multiple like, so if I meet you, right, and your impression of me is that I'm a great person, it's gonna take more than 2 or 3 times probably. Right?
that wasn't my
My
impression.
impression was that for Glizzy.
Alright, fine. I'll use your example just for it, right?
Fine.
First time you meet me, right, I
Sorry.
gobble down a Glizzy, right? But then it's like if I come to you
No,
next
we're
time
in the boat.
and I say, nah, I'm not gonna eat this Glizzy, I'm a vegetarian,
felt good
they're gonna
about
think
it.
I'm full of shit, right?
I saw you
Like, you're-
tickle
it's
the
like,
boat.
I know you.
I saw you
I know you
tickle the boat.
enjoyed it.
You
You
guggle like
enjoyed
good
it.
you got,
You
right?
licked your lips after you.
But now if I come to you every week, you see me for the next year and a half, and I'm like, yo, I'm not eating this Glizzy, I'm a vegetarian. Maybe now, after a year and a half, you're like, okay, yeah, I guess he's a
I'm gonna set up
vegetarian.
a
And that's when
camera
we eat the
and
next
wait for you to
Glizzy.
eat it.
Yeah. Just to fuck them
But,
up.
like,
That's when
it's
you
like
find
the
Eddie in
face
the bathroom
card, right?
gobbling down 5 gigs of Glizzies at the barbecue.
But like it's the face card, right? So like
Yeah.
the news puts the face card.
Bun
These
in
places
one
need
hand,
our help,
Glizzy.
right?
Yeah, okay. So I'm not gonna lie. That's 100% true because when I was first watching the Ryan Garcia stuff, the first thing about me looking into it, the first things I've seen is always drugged up. He's on coke. Da da da. That was all I've seen. But I didn't really pay more mind to it. I'm like, oh man, he's falling apart. Like that's.
You lost.
That's
he
what I thought
lost.
because I was like, I'm not.
He lost and now he's lost.
I'm not paying
right?
attention, right? And then I actually go like, I'm gonna actually watch a video. I watched one video where I actually listened to him talk, and I'm like, oh shit, like they got him right now. Like he's trying to like break out of these motherfuckers who are trying to get him. But the initial was the slander. It's the same shit they did to Dave Chappelle. It's like, oh, by the time you get home, we're gonna make you look like a crackhead. And then by the time he got home, everyone thought he was a crackhead. It's like that.
Wait, David Chappelle's not a crackhead?
No.
No.
He turned down the $50 million. So,
Oh,
so did
damn.
Ryan
Wait,
Garcia.
Daniel Chappelle doesn't do coke?
I'm just saying. Point
Wait.
You say Daniel?
Dave Chappelle doesn't him. I can't do it.
Dylan Chapman doesn't do.
You guys suck. See, okay. And
Only
my whole point of the conversation earlier is that if you can have this plethora of words that call someone an a-hole or a middle finger or whatever, the best solution is to use children language.
Oh yeah.
Because when you're driving down the road and someone cuts you off, flicking them off is like, ugh. But if you just boo, like, dude, it's checkmate. Like, you can't even be like, what are you gonna do if you get booed? It's like, damn,
they're
I
gonna
got
flick you
booed.
off back, and then it's
And
just
then
double dubs.
Then you go, you have one hand on the wheel, you go, boo.
Put
You
your knee
hop-
up. Boo.
Hop
Then
in
you
your
hit him with the
car.
bubble
No, then
gun.
you roll down all the windows and everyone in the window. And then
Boo.
Then you hit him with the bubble gun. Move on.
Right, bubble gum.
Dude, that's actually lit. The bubble blowing bastards, dude. You get a bubble blower, like a automatic one. and people are talking shit, you just with the bubble. Dude.
Imagine him missing his own reference.
Yeah.
Right.
I missed it.
All
Bubble
three of
gun.
us were on
Right.
it.
What was it?
The
Bubble
bubble
gun.
gun.
You bubble
In
out,
traffic,
got
you
that.
bubbled
Yeah.
about it. All three of us were
Your
on
own
it, and you
inventions.
missed your own reference.
Whoa, whoa,
Wow.
I'm part of the invention. Don't discredit
Okay.
my part of the
I know,
idea.
that's right, but he missed it. He missed it.
That's right.
See, like I said,
He also missed the part where
my
we
job is
signed
to create it.
all of his rights away.
My job is to create it. After I create it, it's no longer mine.
I do wanna circle
Right,
back because
so-
now feels like a good time for me to change back to this. I feel like the Switch Lite is only half credit towards the next one.
Bro, what?
yeah,
No
it's
way.
only a 0.5.
Yeah.
That's
You
only-
cheaped out on
It's
the
only
system.
half credit. There's
Yeah.
no
Well,
way.
the
you
That's
3DS
true.
doesn't add
The
on?
digital PS is 0.5 less.
Yeah.
You know, the digital PS4 is
is,
0.5
yeah.
less than the PS4. So it's a
Uh-huh.
3.5 instead of a 4.
No, I think you just lose one. I don't think you just because 0.5 is too much. Then you got to get another 0.5. There's
No,
no
you just get two.
0.5s.
You can that way you can do two to get a 7. You can get 2 digital 4s.
Yeah, but then you can only get digital 4s. You can't get anything else.
Then you can only get a digital 7.
I think you lose a whole point. You don't have a disc drive.
I feel like you just like you
No, you don't
make
lose
a
the whole point.
separation.
Like,
It is a
honestly,
device.
honestly,
No, because the
Fi-
purchase.
You need a physical special split.
to show how unbiased I am, because you're my friend.
I would never
anyone
buy
who, anyone who buys the knockoff version of the console.
Not the knockoff.
I got a question though.
You got the Kroger.
I really
brand
don't
thing.
understand, dude. You
The
could have paid
great
100
value
You
brand.
could have paid
Give me the third best option.
Dude, I would have gave you the extra. I would have gave you the extra money to buy the whatever one. You could just give it back to me later, even if it was like 2 years later. I would have given you the money. It could have been like, oh, I'll pay you back in 3 years. I still would have given it to you. So to buy the version that you could put in the console and play on the TV. Dude. Like, I can't even believe you would spend all that money and not get the full version.
How much do you think I spent on it? How much do you think I spent on
I'm
it?
sorry, dude. I love you, bro.
200.
250.
No.
How much was it? 150.
I want to say it was like 139.
And oh, really?
Yeah.
And what was the full version?
Give me the full version.
What was
149.
like the actual version of it, not the
full,
knockoff.
The full Switch.
Not the witch.
Oh, I think the actual Switch was like 300.
No way, really?
Yeah. I don't
So
remember
okay,
Let's
how
look
much.
it up
Okay,
right
so
now.
in theory then,
I think it was like
if
around
the actual
Black
Switch
Friday.
is worth
bought
like
it
what,
new?
3 points?
The Coral
bought it
Switch
new?
Lite, yeah.
Okay.
Well, all right. Well, you got to think, right? So it'd be because we're dealing with Nintendo.
Everybody with like a digital PS5 is like,
Yeah,
pissed
we're,
right now.
we're dealing with
they came early. So.
we're dealing with Nintendo. So
I would never do.
It would start. GameCube would be worth 1 point. Right?
Okay. Well,
Alright,
okay,
well-
that's fine. That's start at GameCube because
Yeah.
if we go back, it's 2.
Exactly. So GameCube would be at
Or
1 point.
anything before GameCube is 1, like 1, and like even
Mhm.
the end, like whatever.
Well, and I feel like it'd like be GameCube is the 1, and then it'd go 2.
See, I feel like the Wii is the one now.
Probably, cause
But then
GameCube's
still,
probably
GameCube
2.
is 1. Anything
No,
before
no, no,
whatever
because-
the base
Because
is.
GameCube is
the
more
further you
expensive
go,
than a Wii.
that's what I'm saying. The further you go, it's going back up. So,
So what's the
Wii's
lowest?
1,
Okay.
and then you go past Wii. So like Wii
Wii
U
U,
is
Wii
2.
U.
It's like that.
Wii U's 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then GameCube's 2.
Okay.
So Wii U would be 2, and then you have what came after Wii U.
The
You
Switch,
had-
I think.
Switch, yeah, the
Yeah.
original.
Did it go
Switch.
straight to Switch?
Yeah.
I thought there was one. Then there
I
might have
think
been
Well, there was
something.
like I think there was like an upgrade to the Wii U.
Was there
no,
Wii U
no,
too?
no, because the motion sensor board,
The Kinect,
not the Kinect, because the Kinect was
was for the Xbox.
Xbox competing with Wii.
Well, they had.
We had the board
we
you
had one of
stand
those.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we had
that would be 2.
My mom got it. She used it once.
Wii
So
U
you
would
do
be
the
3.
board plus
Wii U
both
would be
of those
3.
would be 2.
Okay, so 180 and 200
180.
or 300.
Okay, so it's 120. Okay, so I can kind of understand that because it is a huge difference.
Yeah.
But I feel like you miss out on so much,
Like what?
like putting it in the console and playing it on the TV.
Yeah, but like isn't so like all right, let me give you my reasoning, right? My main reason why I bought the Switch was so I could play Pokemon,
Yeah.
right? What does Pokemon mean?
I don't know.
Pocket monsters,
Okay.
right?
Fair.
So if I put it on a TV, right, is it a pocket monster now? No.
Yeah, but are you only playing? Did you buy Among Us?
Technically speaking, if you take it out of your pocket.
I did buy Among Us on it.
Yeah, technically speaking,
No, like this, but
you
like,
even
there's
take it out of your
other
pocket
reasons
and play it.
why
It's
you
just
I have
monsters.
to have it. But
If
the
you-
initial purpose to buy it was to play.
Yo, the moment you
Pokemon.
take it out of your pocket, it's just monsters anyway.
Oh, I got a monster in my pocket.
I got a glizzy in mine.
Alright. If you
You
had,
have the boat.
if someone was gonna offer you the Switch
Come tickle
and the
it.
Switch
$5.
Lite for free, which one would you take?
Cup the boat.
So,
I'm sorry. One more
If
time.
someone was to offer you this,
Is it a random person? If it's a random person, switch light. Because I don't trust them.
You're lying, bro.
I'm so serious.
That's a lie.
I'm so serious.
he opens the
But they're
switch light.
giving it to you for free. Why does it matter?
Or do you have to give him a
Because-
Glizzy gobble afterwards?
Because whatever,
No, it's really just
whatever
like,
5 years time they're gonna be like, yeah, you remember that switch
You
I
won.
gave you? I'm gonna be like, no, I'm gonna remember the
You won
switch
a
light, so I
raffle.
only gotta suck half your glizzy
You-
instead of the whole glizzy.
wait, first of all, who's sucking glizzies?
Eddie started it.
Alright, you won a raffle at GameStop for being a
I'm taking the Switch.
honest member, and then so you can choose either Switch or Switch Lite.
Taking the switch. I will say I would choose the switch light if I knew where my
But
switch
in all
was.
fairness, I actually, if they're given the prompt, I would give you the extra $120 for you to get the full version and be like, pay me back in 3 years.
What if it was 7 years?
Sure.
10,
I don't give a fuck.
13.
You can give it to my kids if I die. like,
Nah, here's the $120
I owed
I owed your dad.
just because I really do believe that
It's like,
if you're gonna buy a console or
Oh,
anything,
was that not supposed to say his name on here?
no, that's fine.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, I really do believe that. Like, the fact that you took it away from me from saying it is fucked up. Bro. no,
That's what I'm saying. It's like, do I need to make the mental note to so Ryan can
No,
cut it
okay.
out?
I don't care.
I say we make Ryan work. I'm down.
I feel like we already did make
Okay.
Ryan work.
No,
I really
not
do
at all.
believe. I'll say this. I'll say this. Right, the first when I bought music equipment
I was
for
like,
the,
y'all
for the
make
first
shit like
time,
idiots. It's your fault.
No edits needed.
when I bought music equipment for the first time, I bought the interface. I bought $100 because you don't really need anything. You can get more channels, but it doesn't matter. As long as you have a one channel thing, you can record. Right? I got a little MIDI keyboard because you don't need a big ass piano. You can shift the octaves. If you want the big ass piano and you want to play without having to shift the octaves, it's better, but you don't need it. Right? Everything that I didn't need, I bought whatever the bare minimum was. Now this could be your argument, right? So, but for the microphone, I spent more money on the microphone than every other piece of equipment except for the computer. Everything else combined, I spent more money. The microphone, I bought an $800 like Bluebird something. I don't even think they make them anymore. It was the same microphone that the Migos used at the time when they were popping. I didn't know that. Somebody told me that. But that's how I was like, oh shit, it's a fucking good mic. I still have that mic today, and the only thing that doesn't work, that's like down about it, is the pop filter is rusted because of all the spit that went into it. That's the only thing but the mic still works. I bought that in 2014 or 2015, right? That's almost 10 years later that this high grade piece of technology still works. And I've sat in studios with people who are like, not studio with somebody who's like in the game farther, goes on tours, whatever, and my mic is better than his mic. I could hear it in the shit. I could hear all the background noise. And I'm like, my mic is better because I didn't cheap out on the mic because I knew that was the most important thing. I firmly believe that. Same thing for the Xbox. Same thing for the PlayStation. If you're going to get the full version. Because you want the option. I want the option of being able to pop in a disc. Because if I have the disc version and I buy a disc and I come over to your house and you don't have the disc version, you can't play that game. You got to buy that game. Or I got to download my account, and if I download my account and I don't have the game in digital, we can't play it anyway. So having the option for both gives us more options. I can download my account, we can play all my digital shit, I can pop the disc in. So, but to be fair, my argument can work against myself saying I got the small MIDI keyboard because that's all I needed, right? You could say I got the Switch Lite because that's all I needed, and that's a fair argument. So I can understand that, but for me, when it comes to that, the main hardware, I always feel like I'm gonna spend the extra money because I would rather have the options. My Xbox One, I have the day one edition, the very first one that came out. I used to have the controller. I don't know what happened to it. That said day one edition on it, or it said day one on it. The disc drive broke right after like some odd years, but I can still play the console. Now that doesn't really matter because now even though it was the disc drive, that part of the thing broke and I can't even use it anymore. But it's still like I have this piece of technology that this is the fullest extent of it. It's the farthest I can go. I'm not gonna remove a feature that is actually usable and applicable. It's not like some random thing that you don't really need. Like you don't need my controller. I have back paddles on it. I have like a gaming controller. It's back paddles, so when I play Fortnite, I can jump and reload without even moving my hand off the sticks, and that way I can battle people easier. I can be jumping without having to switch where my aim is moving. Like, because if you jump normally, you got to take your thumb off and then go back to aiming. So it's a delay. I don't have a delay. I just jump.
If you're good.
Yeah, but I'm nasty. But I'm nasty because of one, because I'm good, and two, because I have better technology. When I play on the PlayStation, I'm still good, but I don't have a modded controller.
Bro, you gotta get that like inner thumb press going so you can keep.
Yeah, I've
on
seen
the
people
thumbs.
play with their finger
Yeah,
like that.
I do that.
But yeah. So, but point being is, I don't need that controller. So that's an optional thing. Like, I wouldn't be like, yo, you have to get this controller to play it. I wouldn't. That's ridiculous. Like, it's a $200 controller for what? I mean, I bought the cheaper version because I already had all the attachments. All the attachments cost $200. The cheaper version's $120. So for the new Xbox Series X, I bought the cheaper version because I didn't need all the attachments because they use the same exact compatibility as the last generation, which is dope that they did that. So I didn't have to rebuy all the attachments. But I wouldn't be like, yo, you need that version. But if we could go back, I would give you the extra money for the Switch. If you're going to buy a PlayStation and you're debating between the digital and the disc, I will literally give you the difference. If it's a money decision, I will give you the difference. If you're like, oh, I like the way the digital looks better, then okay, I can't say anything about that. But if it's a money thing, I will give you the fucking money, and I'll be like whatever years you set, fucking pay me back later. I don't give a fuck at all. I actually believe that it's that much. It's that important because if you have a disc, you can't.
I'll have my kid pay your kid back for it.
It's fine.
So
Sins of the father shall be paid for. Yeah.
So like, I agree with you. However, going off my own personal experience, especially when it comes to Nintendo, I think Nintendo makes really good products. Like a DSi, right? Had my DSi for, I think it like broke when I was like 20. You know what I'm saying? I had it for like 10 years.
Mm.
And like that was a great product. It was probably like when it came out, it was probably like $200.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Had my 3DS, right? Since I was in 6th grade. Still works perfectly fine. There's like a couple scratches on it, but like it's in very great condition. You know what I'm saying? And so neither of those products, the DSi was, right? But neither of those products when I bought them were like the highlight thing. Like the Wii U is out now, and like they're talking about the Switch, right?
Kind of different scenarios.
Not really though, because like I
Well,
might not have the best product out there, right?
Basically, you
But
took
the
the
product
ability.
I can use can still play whatever I want to do,
But
right?
the
Okay.
thing about the Switch is one of the greatest things about it is that you get almost the best of all worlds. You can put it on the TV. You can hold it like a.
The reason why I put it on the TV is cool because then you can look at a big screen. And you're not stuck on this the whole time.
You can put it on the TV. You can have it in your hand. You can have a GameCube controller. Ask if you want a controller, or you can have it standing up and you can use the Joy-Cons and have it. It's like now it's a screen, and now you have your Joy-Cons out.
So basically, like what you're saying is like it's the difference between. So it's like you combine the GameCube and the Game Boy, right? And as opposed to just having the Game Boy.
Yeah, it's like you essentially you pay less to have it a singular feature versus paying more to have all these features. It's not like one thing. Like it's all these features. Even it's even a better argument than the disc version of the console.
It also lasts twice as long. The main Switch.
And then
I saw
not for nothing, but it is nice to like when you're charging it to like you don't take a plug and plug it in. You literally just grab it and you put it on the thing and it charges.
Put it on the dock.
And you can still play technically without having to.
While it charges without
technically, you can plug it in the
wire.
wall and you can go like classic Game Boy shit.
Yeah.
So it's not, either way, it's just about prep. But
Also,
I think what it comes down to is, did you make the decision based off the product itself or the money?
Yeah.
Because if it was made off money, I would say fuck the money.
Because you'll make
it's
more
also,
money.
Yeah.
And a lot of decisions like that, my go-to is always can the main version do everything that the smaller version can do? Because if it's like you chose things to pull out of this and gave me that, I don't want it. If it's like we made it to where it can do this also, like we made a little version of it, something else went into it to make this little version. So to be fair,
they made it because they wanted to make a more affordable version of it, which I think because they want to sell more things so more people play the stuff.
And that's my whole point though. Yeah. And so the Switch Lite is a great example of this because it is blatantly we removed features and gave you this, right? Yeah. We gave you option B instead of option A.
Yeah.
And option B is just option A with pulled apart. In that case, I'm always going to go for option A. Even if I have to save up a little longer, if I have to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
I usually go for option A.
As a grown adult. To be fair, right? Amber has a Switch. I'll just for a second. Amber has broken the side controllers twice. The main console, everything's lost. The only thing that's there is the actual console. She lost all the wires, everything. I didn't buy her that Switch. But if I was to buy her a Switch, I would have bought her the Switch Lite. Because then it's like, it's all connected. You're not fucking taking shit out. You're not losing stuff. I think that's better for a small kid. But as a grown adult who's a bit more responsible, I haven't broke mine. I've had mine for years. Did not a fucking scratch on it. I mean, maybe there's a scratch on it. But it's like, mine's fine, right? But if your screen does get broken, you're fucked. If my screen gets broken, I just take the console and I only can play it in console mode on the TV, but I can still play it and I have access to everything.
And that's kind of my point with that, because it's like a good example of this is like the Wii U is actually a pretty good example of this, because there were games where there were Wii U specific things in the game. Whereas like if you have the Wii U, you can use this function. So it's not like, oh, we took the Wii, pulled some stuff off of it, here you go. It was, we made this out of this.
And I think that's dope.
And they're two different categories. And so in that case, yeah, go for Wii U. If you don't have a Wii, go for Wii U. Like
yeah,
it's still
lit.
lit.
But I do think that if you're comparing like two different consoles, like, because we're not comparing, like, Wii and Wii U are two consoles.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider like Wii and Wii U the same as the Switch and Switch Lite. I don't think that it's the same thing.
No, because they are two different consoles.
Exactly. But the Switch and
the
the Switch
Switch
Lite,
and the Switch Lite
they
are two different
but
consoles.
I don't know. I guess so. You could make that
in the
argument.
same exact way as the Wii and the Wii U.
Well, I think there's a
1000%.
different. The difference between the Switch and the Switch Lite is that the Switch is a console and the Switch Lite is a handheld.
Okay, here's the argument, right? Wii U was made after the Wii to be an upgrade. Switch Lite was made after the Switch to be affordable. That's
yeah,
different.
that's exactly what I'm
That's a
talking about,
downgrade.
the difference.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a handheld, and a
Basically-
handheld is a downgrade to a
Basically,
console.
it'd be like they released a
Yeah.
DS, and then they just released the Game Boy SP
Well, that's why I
for
compared
120 less.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I compared the Game Boy to the GameCube as to the Switch is.
The thing about the Game Boy and the GameCube is they play different games.
But yeah, the game.
But you can
That's
play
the
all the Game Boy games on the GameCube.
On
But
the
you can't play all the
GameCube,
GameCube games on the.
You can't
Exactly,
play. You
yeah.
can't
But
play Mario
the
Super
Switch, you
Strikers.
can. You can play the same games.
No, because the Switch Lite doesn't have the same
The
motion
Joy-Cons.
sensor.
Oh, I guess you can't. Yeah.
And that's where I'm getting at, where I said it is the difference.
But you can play every Switch
But
Lite
to
game
be
on the
fair,
Switch.
though, like, how long? I mean, I don't think it matters that much. But if in my memory, the Wii was out for a long time before the Wii U.
Oh, yeah, 1000%.
At least that's
Yeah.
how it felt.
1000%.
But the
But-
Switch Lite
so
wasn't
to give
like
to
that.
give a better example of this, right, is the PS Vita, which we remember the PS Vita, yes,
Right.
the Wii U for
the first
PlayStation,
portable-
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the PS Vita was basically casting your PlayStation onto itself. So it's still under. Now I didn't have one, so this is just based on what I've.
It's a glorified controller.
Yeah, it was exactly. It was a controller with a screen on it.
Dope.
Versus the Wii U being able to run its own games on the Wii U, whether the Wii was present or not. And that's why I say, like, when you look at the Switch and the Switch Lite, yeah, you are correct, where it is a broken down version of this. But it's also, there are games that run smoother on the Switch Lite. Like Zelda. Zelda's a game that many people have said, like, there's just something about it feels.
The light or the OLED?
Mm,
Because that's the difference.
Because now
The OLED is the upgrade.
You might have a
for,
point.
I think for both, or it might just be for I don't know. But
Well,
the
it is
OLED
for-
is
But yeah.
an upgrade.
And that. But that's more like the different model of the same.
Because I would call, yeah, it's just a newer model.
and that's why I would argue
That's
getting-
like DS
but-
versus DS Lite.
I-
It's OLED versus.
and that's why
Switch.
I think that it's it makes more like if you're gonna take I would go like the regular Switch. It makes sense if people go for the regular Switch versus the extra for this, because if you just enjoy the game and whatever, do you need is your TV even capable to hold this? You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. But I don't know.
That's
It
also
really
in a
depends on. I
situation
think it all comes down to intent. I
Yeah.
think that's a lot of this whole podcast is intention. What is the
Yeah.
intention of what you're saying, what you're doing, why you chose this pathway?
But but I will say that I do think that it all does come down to what do you think is best for you? Like, and I do think, like, for you buying the Switch Lite, if you really felt like the Switch Lite is the best thing for you, money aside, like, let's say they cost the same, if you would have still made the same decision, then 100%. But
I probably would have, honestly.
you think so?
Yeah. Just because
Does everyone believe him?
that
Actually, I do, because I would.
he
did
already
have
has a regular Switch, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: Calvin and I live together.
Spoiler. What are you spoiling?
Why do you
Spoiling
guys
the
live
people.
together? It's like-
What, your Glizzy adventures?
Yeah, But he already has a regular Switch, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't see the purpose of owning another Switch because, one, I wouldn't have a TV to dock it on, right? Unless I put it out in the garage, but I don't see the purpose.
You don't have a TV in your room?
No.
That's pretty cool.
None of us do.
Oh, nice.
Well, Jackson puts his in.
Bree has a projector in her room, so I don't know
works,
about.
We have like a
We don't use
damn
it,
near
though.
every room.
I've only seen them use it. A few
I want to
times.
move it to the living room.
Yeah, the
but she
living
won't let
rooms.
me. Still planning for that one. I wanna move
But
it.
well, I wanted to talk about one more thing before we stopped.
His
At
hand on the
least.
door. He's I'm ready to go, dude.
It's starting to sauna in here.
It is
I
starting.
am
to
hot.
Getting
yeah.
some
We didn't
sweaty
cut the-
We could
glizzies.
pop the window.
We didn't cut the. It's alright. This
Getting
is
some
fine.
sweaty glizzies.
You want to keep it hot?
No, we're gonna
Yeah,
end.
sweaty glizzy.
I wanted to shout out
Title of this
on the
podcast.
place I've
We
tried
gotta
out.
remember before we hop in. to
Did you
shut
say
the
let
heat
it
off.
hang?
I said we're going on the end.
You said let it hang.
I didn't say
Let
hang.
the sweaty glizzy hang.
All right, what were
I
we
didn't
talking
say
about?
hey.
I want to shout out this
Tickle the
restaurant
boat.
that we went to. Shut up.
Wait, hold on. Before we do that, then, before we do that,
no,
before we do
yeah.
that.
There ain't no
Before all
this,
that, it
though.
is. Trust me, it is. The reason why is because I want to wrap up the last thing. I will say to all the people out there, because I don't. In reality, if like the financial situation is what it is, and you're like, oh, I can only buy the Switch Lite because it's what I can afford, then
Yeah,
100% I respect it.
1000%. Run
You
that.
know what I mean? But I will say, I'll make the argument just for a thought. If it took you 2 months to make $130 to get the Switch Lite, take 2 more months
Yeah.
to get the rest of the money and buy the full version. That's all I'm saying. If you can wait. If you can't,
Unless
then
your
shit.
roommate already has a Switch, then it's a little
Then you
more
still buy
justified.
a Switch. Right? No, then yeah, I mean, but whatever's best.
Then
for you.
don't go on a podcast so you won't get heated about buying the Switch Lite.
All I'm saying.
And while you're not going on that podcast, go check out
Please.
Mama Didi's.
Please check out Mama Didi. Y'all, this is the most life-changing
The
restaurant
food there
I've
is
eaten
so
as an adult.
fire. Like
I'm
I
so genuine.
free shout out.
Y'all,
no free promo. Fuck Mama Disney's.
I'm
So
that's the only
good.
thing I'm cutting out.
full-fledged.
It's so
I'm gonna
I
cut it
will-
out and I'm gonna replace it with Eddie saying Glizzy. Shout out Glizzy.
Do it, dude. I want to see
By
that.
all means,
Shout out my
I
best
promise
friend.
you, I will leave 27 comments linking.
Check out Mama
Didi's
Didi's.
stuff.
Check out Mama
Dude,
Didi's. Check out
it's
Mama Didi's.
so
No, you
good.
won't.
We're gonna
Block
take
your
y'all.
accounts.
We're gonna take y'all.
Mods, man.
We're gonna take when we take them, and they're on the podcast talking about, yo, that's the best restaurant. No, genuinely,
Yo, we need to
Might be
start doing the
better than
podcast.
Saganaki.
We can't cut it out if we do it live. When we get to 30, I think we're practiced enough to have one running live on Twitch or on YouTube and one recording. Maybe not YouTube. Maybe Twitch would be better because we post it to YouTube. But we should start running it live. We
But
should do
then-
live.
but then he can't cut
Well,
out
when we
I-
have the screen. Whoever screen record flip to the screen, that's the one we should run live and have. We can have the Streamlabs open or whatever, if we do it that way, and we can see the comments and shit.
That'd be fire.
True.
But
Yeah, no, this restaurant's
No one's
lit.
gonna watch.
We'll get
Just rip that Band-Aid off.
4 people. I'm calling it 4 people.
Comment.
Gonna watch this
Comment.
podcast.
Bring out the.
Let us know.
if we set it up and we said, hey, if we actually had a
See,
time.
but the issue,
schedule,
the only issue with that though,
schedule.
is we go back and we reference a lot of old podcasts. So if we're backlogged, and like that, the
We're not gonna
podcast
be backlogged soon.
True.
2 weeks.
By
That
the
is
time
true.
30 happens,
And that's
we'll be
also
good, yeah.
another thing.
That actually will be the
Yeah.
first one we're not backlogged.
And that's
on.
also another
the
thing.
amount of
with
glizzies around you guys.
with
No
the
way you're
edit, like,
backlog.
I don't mind
Drop a
editing
glizzy button in the
one
chat.
podcast
Dude,
and watching the whole
when we
thing
have
for
our
2
own
hours.
buttons, the glizzy button, we like, yo, drop a glizzy.
But
Glizzy,
if we're doing a podcast Sunday and I edit it Monday or Tuesday, right, and it comes out Wednesday, I don't mind spending 2 hours and going in there and pick something out and we can be more loose. But having 3, 4, 5 I have to do, I'd rather only take 30 minutes to edit it. Boom, let it bounce. Wait for the next one. Do it again. Just to get caught up. Because now, instead of taking 10 hours a week to do everything, it's just 2. And now I have all this other time to do all this stuff. So my mind is like, once we're caught up, so this is 27. So probably by 29, I think. Which I said before, by the time we're at 30, it will be caught up. So it will be, you know. But, yeah. I want to put something there, too.
I need to go get a hot glue gun.
One thing I would like I want the
My
studio
cannon.
to evolve into the place where we can have like the pop sitting out and like just different stuff. Where
yeah,
it's
I
not
was
just
thinking
a
how to
room.
break it down easier. I honestly just had this idea now, like when we're not using it because we're not really in here. This thing that you guys are sitting on, it can easily just flip up and door can be open because we don't really need to come in here. Like at the most, people come in, they lay on the couch for a second just to have a comfortable place to chill down here. But no one really hangs out in here. And even this cushion, we don't even use. Like this takes up so much space. I would honestly argue it'd be weird, but like measure it out to the end, cut a little bit farther, and just sew the shit down and make the cushion like smaller just to fit right here.
If we're gonna do all that, I'd rather just sell the couch and use the money to buy whatever we need to set up the room.
We already
however
have
we
it
want
though. I'm crafty, so That was the way I thought
You
about
said
it.
you're crappy.
Crafty.
Crappy.
Crafty.
Crappy.
Crafty.
You're shafty.
Crafty.
Crappy.
Crafty.
Crappy.
Fuck you.
Glizzy.
Alright, what was your story though? One of you had some story.
That wasn't a story. I just wanted to shout out Mama Didi's.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it.
It's a barbecue restaurant.
Y'all are gonna have to
It's
check it out.
fire.
I'm gonna let
So
you.
good, guys.
Genuinely.
Why don't you just take
Genuinely life
Let's
changing
go do
barbecue.
it. Come over.
Soul food.
Why don't you-
5 minutes from our house.
Why don't you
Yeah.
Why don't you use that
When-
money you cheaped out on the Switch Lite to take
Yeah,
us?
why don't you use that? Yeah, take it. When do you want to go?
But
Tomorrow?
we usually
They're
go on
closed
Fridays.
tomorrow. So they're closed Monday and Tuesday. They have really weird hours. So like
So-
they're only
'Cause it's
open
like a
like
family
11 to
restaurant.
like 7
I respect
most
it.
days.
But we usually go on Fridays. So if you guys
Alright,
want.
bet.
Oh, I work all day Friday.
Oh,
Every Friday.
I'm off.
Every Saturday.
Should slide over on Wednesday.
But Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm free.
Wednesday's not a bad day.
I'm down. I want to do it live. I'd be down to do it live. I think that'd be cool. Be a next step in our evolution.
Go to Mama Didi's live.
Especially because if the episodes don't come out
Get
right
some
away,
Glizzies.
we have the live version that happened. And if you're there for
The
it,
episodes
you got to
are
see
going to
it.
come out right away.
What do you mean?
In 2 weeks, we'll be officially caught up.
Oh,
And they will be out right away.
Boom, 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 boom.
That's the
good
bonus.
job. Good for you.
All right.
Everyone
well,
give Ryan a round of applause. Good job, Ryan.
Go lick a glizzy.
Everyone boo Calvin. Boo.
Go lick a glizzy. At least I have a drill. Okay.
Drop a boo for
You can't
Calvin
bring
in the
it.
chat.
We weren't even using it for. What's the point?
Give a woo for Ryan,
my
a boo
glizzies,
for
right?
Calvin.
Yo, we should stream on Kick.
Are you putting in?
That's a new platform. You guys heard about it?
Kick,
Kick.
like the text app from like a billion,
No,
million,
it's a new
jillion
thing.
years
I think
ago.
it's called Kick. Is it not called
Yeah,
Kick?
it is.
It's called Kick. It's a new. It's like
It's like
Aiden
Aiden
Ross.
Ross streams on there.
On that
It's
note,
like KIK.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. No, KICK.
Okay.
I don't know.
thank you so much.
But we
for
should stream
joining
on
us
there.
for episode
I'm gonna look into it.
27, y'all. We're getting up there.
Yep.
Getting up there.
You know, there's more podcast episodes than years in my life.
And they will be forever like that.
Actually, more podcast episodes than years in all of our lives. Starting next
Except for
week.
Ryan.
27.
That's why you said starting next week. You dumb.
Well,
Thank you so much for
seems like a little ad-lib.
you silly butts.
Silly butts.
There's only 22 out right now. Or is there 23 out?
24 out.
24 out.
Hmm.
Yikes! I
Yeah.
missed the whole week.
You know what's funny?
This
Is
week's
24.
25,
25.
26, and 27.
I'm gonna start working
And
on the
then-
script.
Heard.
Oh, wait.
For that.
So we'll be caught up next week then.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be caught up. No, but we're one behind. I'm
Okay.
doing one tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
So 25 to 27, and then next week will be 28, and then I'll put 29 out too on
Heard.
Tuesday and Thursday.
I think
And
every
then
every
30,
episode
we'll
needs a
record
title
30
now.
on Sunday, and we'll post Wednesday. It'll be back to Ocean.
Title of this one is
Wednesdays.
Sweaty Glizzy.
Eps-
Glizzy
30.
Gobbler.
So it'll be 2 days in between. Now we're 2
Sweaty
days
Glizzy
removed.
Gobbler.
Sweaty
If we say
Glizzy
anything, that will
Gobblers.
happen. Whatever, 2 days removed.
Well,
You know, and then it's not too far because also I was doing a week, but also a week still felt like at this time it still felt too far. It's like I want to just like you want to do live, it might as well be like that. So to get close to once we're close to that, get the whatever a little more studio, a little more, then I'm down.
Oh yeah.
But
Thank you
thank
guys
you
so
for
much.
joining us.
appreciate it. Episode
This-
27, Ocean Waves,
Episode of the Glizzies.
the Guru out now, all streaming platforms.
Check it out.
I'm Indigo Ryan, the Navigator.
Dwayne the Kin.
Calbino.
Jason the Guru say.
What's the scenario?
Appreciate y'all for watching, listening. Please comment if you see this. We haven't had any new comments since the comment segment started, so
Yeah, if you
But
don't
they-
comment, you're a Glizzy Gobbler.
Let's take a
The
poll.
12-inch kind.
Do you have a switch, a light, or none?
Oh, we should
Let us
add one of
know.
those polls. I think we can do that.
Do we have a switch, a light, or none?
all right.
Should you be able to give a PS3 and a PS4 and get us PlayStation 7? PlayStation 7. Wow, I butchered
No, you
that.
shouldn't.
I think you
You
should.
should be able to get a
Bye.
PS4 and a PS1 and get a 5 because that's all that's out right now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or 2 twos.
okay. If you guys,
As
I
far
say
as
this-
as far as they let you
in
see so
preface,
far.
you guys, if you buy a next gen console, please buy the disc version. If not, I will help you invest in it.
Because if you had the disc, you can pass the disc around.
My investment would actually
So
be
it's a
like
solo
if you
game.
get the disc version, I will have my stack of discs and I'll be like you each can pick 2 games to learn to play to have 2 games to start. And you don't have to buy any games for the beginning.
Heard.
And I have like God of
Basically,
War
the perspective would be like Hogwarts, right?
Forza or
That's a game that you don't really play with anyone. That's like a solo game. So at any point, like none of us we're not playing Hogwarts at the moment, but you might want to play. And if you have a disc drive, you don't have to pay for Hogwarts because someone already did.
Yeah.
And
I'm
here
gonna
you
get
go.
the
Now we
digital
all
one
have
just
Hogwarts. But if you
spite
don't want
you.
So
to
if
pay
you get
Among
the
Us,
digital
that's
one,
different,
think about it.
we
If you
all
get the
have
digital one and you buy Hogwarts, let's say the digital one's $300 and the main one's $500. Hogwarts is $60. You're at $360. The next game you buy digitally that we already have a disc, you're at $420. Next one $480. After the fourth game you buy that someone already has a disc, you now lost money.
Heard stop at 3.
Yeah, stop at 3.
Only
Only
buy
have
three.
3 games forever.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy the new console. When we get
We
the
could also
games.
rock Ultimate Chicken Horse.
I've been trying to do that for a minute.
Yeah.
I'd play tonight. Don't try me. Anyway.
Tonight.
Anyways,
Oh, my
love you
bad.
guys.
Last time you guys want to play Among Us, I completely forgot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
by the time
alright.
you got home, that's I was like, ooh, I forgot.
It's all good.
All right, appreciate y'all.
Thank you guys.
Episode 27.
Check
Ocean
out
Waves.
28 coming out soon.
Coming out soon. Ocean's on arrival. All streaming platforms. You know the deal.
Peace.